Hey everybody, welcome to the POS podcast. Jax made a noise.
I'm sorry, I was coughing something up.
Jax
That
is
was a
here.
weird cough.
Jax is here. Tom is here. Sarah will be here soon. He
Hello.
told me he was walking in.
No, he won't.
No, he won't. He's not gonna be here soon, so just start it up.
Yeah, I
How are
already
you
did.
doing, Paleo?
Yeah.
How are you doing? What have you been doing this week?
Not too much. I went to go see Lightyear again yesterday with my dad because we were gonna go see Top Gun Maverick, but it was Father's Day. That's like the perfect Father's Day movie, and it was like all sold out.
Oh yeah,
it came out like 2 weekends ago.
Apparently, that movie is like unironically really good.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
From, like,
I've heard
everyone.
like it's like way better than the original Top Gun.
Yeah. So that's good. It's one of those. Because what was the last bad Tom Cruise movie? Because most of the Mission Impossibles are like pretty dope.
Yeah, the Mission Impossibles have been really good.
Yeah. Has he done it like a bad
Tom Cruise movie? I don't know.
The bad
He's like
Tom
a real
Cruise movie is the promotional video he does for Scientology.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, true. I mean, like,
He
he's like the
mojo out there.
No, it is one of those weird ones because I think like Tom Cruise is one of the last like movie stars where it's just like, oh, it's Tom Cruise. He's in this. Sure. Like he brings his A game. He's gonna break his leg in this somehow.
Right.
There's like something that's gonna happen with him. So I was just like, shit, okay.
How old is Tom Cruise now? Like, isn't
he's
he
in
like,
his 50s.
Yeah.
I was gonna say he's getting close to 60, isn't he? Like, he's like 50
he's 59.
Like, Jesus Christ.
He still looks great for his age. Like he looks like he just looks great in general. I shouldn't even say for his age. He just looks great.
Are they digitally de-aging him though?
No, like he looks. He like is very well. There's this picture of his co-star from Top Gun, the original one, and then there's like him, and it's like they're the same age, and like not trying to body shame this person or something like that, but they clearly like didn't age the same way Tom Cruise aged. So it's just like fuck, dude, shit.
When you have that Scientology connection, I'm sure they're like pumping fucking blood of children into Tom Cruise to keep him.
Yeah, I guess so.
They keep suckering in more people to the church. The church, allegedly.
One person I was surprised at like how he looks with Sam Neill. Sam Neill's 74.
Sam Neill looks phenomenal. Yeah. Like unironically, like I know you both are bi, but I'm gonna say he looked very handsome in freaking Jurassic Dominion. Like I'm just saying he looked very good for his age. That's all I'll say. Like I was like, dang, he's got a salt and pepper thing going. He's got full head of hair still. He's just like, damn, good looking dude.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that later. But Jax, what you been up to?
That's Tom. I want to ask because he got indoctrinated with the PS5. One of us. Google gobble. One of us.
From Hero,
of us.
I got Hero's PS5. Yeah.
Wait, Hero gave him his PS5?
Well, hey, I bought it from him. He didn't just give it to me.
Oh, so Hero just gave up his PS5?
Yeah,
not gave up, but like I mean, you bought it from him, but still like, oh wow,
the torch was passed. Yeah,
damn. So, that feels like that scene from Clone Wars 2003 with like they are about to like turn Anakin into a Jedi Knight, and so like they go in that dark room and they all like the lightsabers, and then Yoda's just like, "Dub thee, I do, PS5 owner. Now the game is yours." I don't know.
Yeah. A couple people on Twitter when I announced it were like, "How the fuck?" And I'm just like, "No, don't think I have any skills."
Right?
It was nepotism. That's how I got it.
Nepotism.
I haven't played it yet. I set it up. I got it all set. I put the dark plates on there because I'm not keeping it the stupid Seto Kaiba white.
Seto Kaiba.
So, put the dark plates on. It was funny because like I think I got it, and while I was setting up, me, Hero, and Paleo were all talking in chat, and basically I'm like, I just paid $500 for this. Let's insult this console for like a solid 20 minutes. Like it's ugly and it's loud and it gets hot and it's the stupidest thing ever designed. I'm just like, I'm so glad I bought this. I guess and this is whatever the former and current owner are telling me how terrible it is, and I'm like agreeing as I hand my money over. I'm such a good consumer. Sony just claps in the corner.
Give me this.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, it's fine. If Hero hadn't like wanted to unload it, I would have just waited for the Slim because it like
Right.
is like I took a photo of it with my entertainment center. It dwarfs the original Xbox.
Yeah, you have the
Because
Xbox like
most
right
people probably
above
don't
it.
have it. You don't know how big this fucking thing is. It's got a solid like 3 or 4 pounds and like probably like 30% volume on the original Xbox.
Yeah.
It's
Damn.
stupid
Yeah.
how big this thing is.
It's like silly.
Well,
it's funny when you
saw
have
it when I had it over when I was there for a while.
I did, but I kind of saw it just like it wasn't in the entertainment
Yeah, it
center,
wasn't.
so
It was.
my
We
brain,
just had it like in front of it.
my brain didn't like do the math, I guess. But as soon as I like slotted it in there, I was like, Jesus Christ! I was like ready because my friend Ash, before I moved here, I brought all my shit to her place, so my PS3 and stuff are there, and she's coming down this week to finally bring the rest of that crap over so I can have all my games again. And I was like, oh, I got just enough room in the entertainment center. I'll put the PS5. Because I was originally going to put the PS4 there, but it's functionally, I don't need it anymore. Drop the PS5, put the PS3 right next to it. No, there's no room left in this entertainment center for anything else. Maybe an NES Mini could slot in there, but that's like it. It's just so fucking enormous. I'm like, they have to do PS3 backwards compatibility now. I got no more space for my PS3. It's the size of a PS4 and a PS3 and a PS1 all taped together. There's no excuse. No fucking excuse. But yeah, I set up the PS5. I've been working on some 3D stuff. I'm posting that on Twitter, and just working on Saberspark 64. That's been the whole shebang.
Yeah, nice.
And Marathon and Corridor Crew, which is my new favorite YouTube channel. I'm repping their merch.
Oh yeah.
They're so
yeah.
good.
I watched a lot of their like VFX reacts videos.
So good,
yeah.
dude.
VFX reacts to blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Nice. That was awesome.
But Jax, what about you?
Hold on 1 second. I have just been playing Ninja Turtles and working. That's all I've been doing. Just I'm finishing up my program, but I started months ago because I finally got an artist for it, so that's good. Got some videos coming out, new Tough Like the Tunes, new Would That Work Out, and yeah, just been like getting back into the groove of things just to like get stuff up. Like one of the things I'm really trying to do just now is like I have my schedule set up so I can like do a bunch of bulk work on like the Monday or the Tuesday and stuff like that, because I want to like start doing a thing where I just have a bunch of videos in bulk and I just send them over to like the editors and stuff like that, and just like, all right, just put this out whenever, please, so I can just relax for most of the time, because I've just been like overworking like a lot. So I'm like, okay, I need time for myself, for my brain. So yeah, that's what I'm currently doing. So yeah. Ninja Turtles is fun though. Like it's fun.
We're gonna be talking about that.
No, there's like a bunch of stuff. I'm not gonna say it. I'll wait till we talk about it. But like, there's a bunch of stuff as like someone who watched the '80s show where I'm just like, wait a second, that's not that person. So like, when it's just like I'm like doing like a bunch of like, I remember this. That's not what. Okay, whatever. And one thing I will say before we get into it is like, why does Mikey only have one nunchuck? All right, stop nerfing his nunchuck. They always do this with the '80s show. They always like, oh, I'm gonna give him a grappling hook instead of 2. He has 2 nunchucks. Let him use 2. But no, whatever. Okay, I'm done.
All right. So I guess before Saber gets here, we'll go ahead and go over a couple of topics. But before we do, if you want to ask a question, you can either use a super chat or ask us on Twitter with our Twitter handles right there.
Twitter handles: Jax Blade Fitness. Tommy Oliver says.
I know, I have it right there.
I know, I'm reading them for people who can't see. You know, there are people. I was watching this TikTok the other day of like this blind girl, and she was answering comments, and then like I was just like, a part of me was like, wait, how is she reading them if she's blind? But then like there was this whole thing of like, oh, I have someone like read it out loud to me. I was like, oh,
is it like
okay,
like an audio?
They have like an audio thing.
Yeah,
they have like a thing. I guess it's like not Stephen King, Stephen Hawking thing, where they like put it in I guess someone types the comments in their stuff for them so they can hear them, and then they just like do reply videos to that comment. I was like, that was fascinating to me, because like a part of me has always wondered, like, how do blind people like type YouTube comments and something like that? Is it just the same Braille keyboard? I didn't know, but like it was very interesting.
Yeah.
Well, if you have your fingers on your keyboard, there's like those two little things there. Like, so if it depends on like if you were like born blind or not. Um,
Oh yeah.
yeah, like because if you learned to type before then, like you could do that easily.
Oh sweet.
Because like learning to type, like it becomes like second nature if you have like those two fingers where they're supposed to be.
Oh yeah, if you have the two fingers, where
yeah.
it's like the ASDF, you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like it is true. Like, because there are times where I thought I couldn't type, but then like I can literally like do a thing like this, and then I'm looking away, and I'm like, how did I type an entire paragraph? And it's just like I have no idea how I maintain. That is such a cool thing where you like I forgot I knew how to do
muscle memory.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's just
interesting because sometimes
we were very lucky in that like when we were growing up, we were taught how to type.
Like computer class.
It's funny because like both the older generation and the younger generation don't like type the same way that millennials do.
Right? No, it's true because like my mom is like she types like
yeah, that's what my dad does.
Yeah, and then like my my little niece and like stuff like that, they type like this. Like it's weird how they I can't explain it, but yeah, it's odd. And then like me, I'm like looking away like da 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 da, and then it's just like paragraph. I absolutely no idea. It's just like
it's interesting because like you can put your hands like just on a table and just imagine typing, and your fingers will kind of naturally know where they're roughly supposed to go.
Right.
Just because you've done it so many times. I remember when I was in like middle school, because all my friends back then were like super big into computers before I could even get one. I remember my friend Greg just was like typing while talking to me on them, like, how did you do that? And he's just like, soon you will have the power. Just
no,
like,
exactly. It's just, I don't even know. The cool thing about
you just play a lot of typing games, like in the computer lab.
Yeah,
that's true.
You just be on the computer all the fucking time, and soon you will have this power.
Yeah.
Called having no life.
It's Saber's here. Saber, how you doing?
Hi. I'm tired.
Tired?
I heard you had another Uber Eats disaster, number 75.
Yeah, I'm decided to take a gamble. Today's been nonstop since like 7 a.m. and around like 7:30 I was able to finally like take a break. And I went downstairs. I'm like, I don't feel like cooking. Don't feel like going out. Let's just Uber and some Panda Express, and it went from like 30-minute delivery and then went up to an hour and then just froze. And I'm like, oh, come on. And around like 8:45, I was like, shit, like I'm hungry. I haven't eaten anything today. And Laura and I went out to the grocery store, and we actually went by Panera, and we walked in, and I could just immediately tell by like the workers, they're sweeping. And I'm like, nope, we're out. Like, we're not even going to be a Karen for a second. You all have a good evening. And we went to the Kroger and picked up some just odds and ends, and then driving home. Cool. The Panda Express.
What? No, keep going. I thought you were done. Keep going.
No, the Panda Express beat us home. So the food was there.
Oh my god.
So I was like, yeah, whatever. I'm like, sometimes the universe just wants to do its thing. And
so did you get the correct order just really late?
Yeah, though to be fair,
that's better than what we usually do, where there's half the order is missing, the other half is what we didn't order.
Right. No, I mean, it's
dude, even Cookout has fucked us over in person like twice.
Dude, right, with us literally in line complimenting Cookout, and then they screwed it up. Like, oh,
and then we opened the box when we got back. It's just like neither of us ordered onion rings. What the fuck? It's just
where's my entree? Oh well. Life goes
We're like
on.
literally having a conversation like, oh yeah, it's like it sucks to fucking, have to like be here listening to dumb people like us, like, good on them for like being chipper considering everything that's going on, and like, and then we get back, we're just like, motherfuckers. Just immediately change our tune.
Yeah,
it's both of us.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. I mean,
my question for you is because I want to know what you think compared to Jax, because when I regaled my saga of the Roma sub, Jack said he'd go full Karen on if he got
full Corone. Yeah, that's what I would do. That's
when
you it's like you like that's one of those moments where like I was talking to like a few of my friends about this, because like it's so funny how like I have like I'm just gonna say it, my black friends and then y'all, and so like I was talking with them, and it was like it's completely different how I like talk with speech and stuff like that. And then like with y'all, it's just like, oh, I'm talking like this, blah 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 blah. But then like if I was in that situation, I'd immediately code switch like, listen, you stupid ass nigga, I swear to God, you better fucking get this shit fixed for me. I swear to fucking God, bro. I will and something like that. So
I guess context. I mean, as far as like the situation goes, my mood, money, time. Because to me, like Uber Eats can just screw you across the board where it's like, not only did I waste my money, and not only is the food potentially not going to show up at all, or it's late and it's cold, but also you just wasted all my time, and you're making me have to either cook my own food or find another option. You lose. It's just a complete and utter loss. For Roma, don't do it. Not Jax. Tom, don't eat Roma. Nobody eat Roma. Substation's the way to go, hands down.
There's a reason Roma's only one letter away from Rona, and now I've learned.
You call me next time you look at restaurants in town, and we'll talk.
You were out of town. I wasn't gonna bother her. Where should I go for fucking food?
You know, you kidding me? I would have loved that. I would have jumped on that in a second.
Saber, how was the Game Grumps thing?
Oh, that's right. So it was fun.
No, it was terrible. It was fucking terrible. Aaron said gorilla. Fuck him. No, the whole thing was a waste.
So you got a point. Well, one of these days we'll do our grand dissertation.
Don't meet your heroes. Don't meet your heroes. This time, I'm just like,
hero.
What a god. Sequelitis, 10 out of 10. Like, I'm talking about old Aaron. Aaron who was cool before he sold out. He still exists in my head. And now, the final nail in the coffin. 10 years of Let's Plays didn't do it, but choosing Gorilla.
That was heartbreaking. So the entire event took place in Raleigh. It was like some civic center or whatever. It was a nice venue. I had never been to Raleigh before. It's I was like, well, this is a pretty nice city as far as local life goes. We went to the farmers market over there on Sunday, and I liked it a lot. It was a very busy weekend though. Wednesday evening, because these tickets were like, I guess, VIP tickets that Laura and her friends got, and there was a Q&A session with Dan and Aaron in the auditorium, which just sit in the seats. I took questions, though we missed the opportunity to submit questions because you write them down, put them in a fishbowl, and then just randomly pull it out. There was things about like Aaron brought up Girl Chan, which I was like, woo. And nobody else wooed. And Aaron's like, well, someone actually knows Girl Chan. I'm like, yeah, like old.
I'm the oldest one here. That's why.
Probably, right? And what was it? The gorilla bear question kind of emerged where I raised my hand. I actually didn't even care a shit about the paper in the bowl. I was like, fuckers. To which Aaron said, like, well, thank you for raising your hand. And I'm like, bro, we paid for these tickets. I'm asking my question. So,
do you know who I am? I'm Saber Spark.
Actually, I was surprised. Like 5 people recognized me during the thing. There was a brony there with a brony mask, and I was like, "Are you a brony?" And they're like, "Yeah."
I need to leave. I need to leave right now. No one can know.
No one can know. Yeah. But no, everybody's sweet and fun. There was a pre-show with this guy who I think his name was Dadbot or whatever. He's like this dancer. Y'all remember that one dancing meme where the guy's like moving his arms around, wiggling really rapidly, and he's kind of just moving his legs in the same position, but the background keeps changing. That guy was there as a pre-game person. He was fun energy. He brought Laura up on stage with some other folks to do dance off. The show itself was mainly just like it was like a tournament where it's like Grump versus not so Grump, and like mini games on stage, and some stage person was picking people in the audience to get on stage to play. Every time we were screaming, like Laura loves Aaron and Dan, and everybody's pointing at her. And I'm like, God damn it, someone picked her place, out of nepotism, of course. But there was a moment where we were making such a ruckus, and the 2 respective people were picked for Dan and for Aaron. But Dan was like, yeah, what about her? And he walked, he was like, you know what, you can have this. And he gave his water bottle to Laura. And apparently Laura and him touched fingers, and she was just like, ah! Oh my, that's my woman. No, no, but No, it was a lot of fun. I gotta give it up to him, and it was a packed house. The merch was out the door as far as that line goes. I'm like, these guys, you got it figured out, and you were able to do it without completely. As actually, I say completely. I want to make it abundantly clear. They run a very tight ship. I respect them. You can see the effort they put in.
Clear. I hate these people.
Make it abundantly clear. If I see them in real life again, no, but like they have a very good thing going. Their audience loves them. They respect their audience, and I'm like, yeah, good on them. If that's not the dream, I don't know what is. Because like that was a considerable audience, and I'm like, this is just Raleigh. Like it's packed. It's absolutely packed. Like imagine LA. Good God. I try not to, but yep, that was it. It was fun. They put on a good show. I even laughed a few times. My seat wasn't where it was supposed to be. Actually didn't even exist. Where they were like, I was like, where's 101? And they're like, it's not here. And I'm like, what? And some stage person like just brought up this giant chair and put it next to the row. So I was actually kind of elevated above everybody else. And I'm like, as I should be. And but it was fun.
Bring out the YouTuber chair.
Right. Yeah. I'm like a lord to them being kings. So it was fun. I enjoyed it. I would actually go to an event like that again, which is tough because I feel like with the new wave of content creators coming in, it just feels so insincere, superficial, made up as far as like trying to pander. And I'm like, no, what these guys have going is a very like organically grown fan base, and they know what to give to their viewers, and this give and take back and forth, it works. I respect it, and that's my thoughts on that.
Okay, cool. Like I said before Saber got in here, if you want to ask questions, we have super chats and also our Twitter handles. And then I guess we'll get into topics. We'll do first a few reviews. I know that Saber has to go at 11. But we have like 4 things to start off with. First being Miss Marvel, which I know me and Jax have watched. Tom, have you watched any of that yet?
I have not, but I've heard, I want to say mixed things. I know that like viewership was pretty low compared to other Marvel shows, but it seems that like both audience and critic scores are pretty good. I think it's at like 83 audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, like 90 something critic. But like it's not doing well in terms of like overall viewership. It's like pretty down compared to even like Hawkeye. I think it's like half the views of Hawkeye, which is like half the views of Loki, which is the most popular show. So I don't know. Like I'm interested to hear what you guys think about
it is like a new character for the MCU, so
and also like a lot of people are mixed on Kamala Khan, just the character in general. So like that's what
the vice president?
Yeah, exactly. The vice president. Let's see. I'll say this. I think the actress is like nails Kamala's character. I think that is just absolutely perfect. She nails the character. Like everything about her, like personality, how she's acting. I'm like, this is great. The first episode is very much it feels like a bit of Suicide Squad and Spider-Verse with how like they do the comic.
Yeah, I love the different like the graphics and stuff they have going around in the background and the foreground. It's really nice.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. Like that's what keeps you really engaged with it. It's just like that. It's very much like heavy comedy focus. So I was like, okay, yeah, this tracks well for people who know the character too, because it's like she would literally do this exact thing. She would act this exact way. So I was like, okay, this is I'm liking this so far. First 2 episodes, I was actually like, I think they're like fine. I think the biggest thing for me personally, and I know it's just a thing I've been saying before, it's just that the power swap, because to me it's like, okay, it's like switching out Mr. Fantastic's powers with Sue Storm's powers or Green Lantern's powers, and it's like, okay, I get that is uncanny, that like you know the stretching thing, but it's like you better not like switch up Mr. Fantastic's powers when you do Fantastic Four. Like it would not work. Okay, like there's just certain things where like it's so integral to the character. And what's funny to me is the actress is such a big Marvel fan, like comic fan, that she even said this to like Feige. She's like, but it doesn't make sense. Like, why is this? I'm an Inhuman, and this is what happens. Like, just follow the script. And so like for that, so I thought that was like really funny that like she knows that sort of stuff. Like she's one of those actresses who was like a colossal fan before she got in. So like she's even said like in other stuff, like other Marvel products, like it doesn't make sense for this character to do this. Like one of the things, this is going off topic, but like one of my favorite interviews from her that she said was she was getting on Kevin for calling the MCU 616, and then she said like the real like title for it. And it's just like, yeah, but it makes no sense for it to be 616 because we all know the comic verse is 616. The real verse is this. So I was like, that instantly made me endeared to her as like a actress and a character. So I was like, okay, that's good. Yeah, but yeah, that's the whole thing. It's just like the powers. That is the only thing that's taking me out. It's just like, okay, so she's got like these Green Lantern-esque Sue Storm powers with how she's doing it. Hopefully at the end they'll switch it out. Because I know the last time I saw like stretching look somewhat decent in live action was probably in The Boys season 1 with that Ezekiel guy. So yeah, like that is like the last time. And I know it just like is Uncanny Valley, but again, it's just like you got characters like this, so you got to figure out some way to make it work. So yeah, I guess I'm just very, for me, it's just getting used to that. That is literally everything. Everything else, I'm like, I'm enjoying it.
I do have a question with the powers, because and this like it's more like she's like using light or whatever.
Yeah.
Could Miss Marvel, could she do that like platforming thing as well in the comics, or is that just the MCU?
No, she just expands. Like in the comics, like what have she's an inhuman, so like her body just like literally like it can grow, can small.
I saw that like, oh yeah, they got the idea from playing Crash Bandicoot. Like,
right? Yeah, probably, yeah. Like it's that is that was like hilarious. Like that the whole scene. Like I'll say the scenes where she's like saving people, they're hilarious, and then like the characters, like they're like funny. Like her dad is like so endearing. Like that first episode where he was like dressed up the whole, I was like, oh man, like what? Come on, why you got to do that and shit like that? So like I thought that was pretty good. But so far I would say like I'm not 100% loving it. I do like her a lot, and I do love the comedy a lot, but overall like so far it's just like it's okay for me. But I think it really is my bias. I think that really is my bias of just like the power switching. Like that really did like, so it's going to take me longer to get used to that.
Right. Yeah, there's 2 episodes. Is this going to be 6 episodes like the other ones?
I believe so.
Okay.
I believe so. And then they're like 6 hour. Not like I think it's 6 hours total probably, because it's like they've each been like an hour so far, or like 40 minutes so far. So yeah, probably it'll be like 50, 40 minutes.
So
each.
I think like all these will be done before Thor comes out, I think.
When does that come out, in July?
Yeah, it comes out in July.
What day in July?
I think it's the middle of July.
Middle of July. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it'll probably be done before then. So okay.
All right.
But yeah, fun show.
Yeah. Next thing that Jax can also talk about, Shredder's Revenge, TMNT.
Shredder's Revenge. Oh, I have been having such a fun time with this game. It's just a fun little beat 'em up, stuff like that. It feels like I'm back at the arcade. They got all the OG 1987 voice cast back. Well, majority of the OG voices back. Like rest in peace, Shredder's voice actor, Uncle Phil. He passed away. James Avery. He passed away like a long time ago. So, but what I was curious about is they could have used what is his name? Kevin Michael Richardson, because in the 2012 show, he voiced the 80s Shredder in that, but he also voiced the 2012 series Shredder. So I was like, oh, you could have got him back for it, but whatever. I love hearing 80s Mikey do his cowbunga, because 80s Mikey is my absolute favorite. Fighting's fun. Like I love the fact that they made April into a fighter, because like this is the only April who's not actually a fighter. Like every other April, like 2003, 2012 and 2018 and Rise and stuff like that, they all know like martial arts and stuff like that because they trained. But then this April from the 80s is always just like, oh, save me and stuff like that. Though in the comics, for the 1987 comics, because there was 2 different ones. There was like the original TMNT comics, and then there's the 1987 comics that went along with the 1987 show. She did learn to fight in that, so I was like, oh, this is good. And then like she's one of my favorites to play as, just because I love seeing her use all the techniques and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, that was good. So far I think it's hilarious, because it's like it's very much a love letter to the 80s show. So like there's a bunch of like people, like if you have like a broad knowledge of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you'd be like, okay, you'll still have a fun time with it. You'll still have a fun time with it. But there are certain villains that's just like, oh, freaking Wingnut's in this. I didn't know they put Wingnut in this. That's a fucking 80s villain right there. And then there's like, or freaking like when they put Tokar and Razor in there with their animated forms, or like like there are various like 80s specific villains in the game that I'm just like, oh, that's very funny that they put this specific person in there. Only things I'm sort of like on is like, I do wish there was a bit more variety with the combos. Like there's like 20 different ways to attack people, but like the main combo is just like, square, 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 if you're doing it like that. And I just sort of wanted like more of like, square, triangle, something like, I just think that would have been more fun. What else? What do I want to say? Oh yeah. Here's a thing that like only I guess I pick up on because of the various things. So Raphael, excuse me, in the 1987 TMNT is way different than any other Raphael. Like he's sarcastic, he talks shit, but he's lazy. Like he's not aggressive. He's not an aggressive fighter type. Like that was his whole thing, was like, I'm the sarcastic one. I just like make jokes and stuff like that. Like, and it's so weird after like every other interpretation of Raph is just like, I'm the angry one. I'm aggressive, stuff like that. So they have this Raph look very angry and aggressive in the game, but he's still talking like 1987 Raph. So like it sort of takes you out of it for a second. It's just like, man, stop trying to be all fucking hard and shit like that. We know who you are. Like, okay, it's just like that was taking me thing to get used to. Not to get used to. I thought it was just hilarious when I was playing it. What else? Michelangelo, they only gave him one nunchuck instead of two, which is like, they keep nerfing 80s Michelangelo's nunchucks. Like before it was just like, okay, he had two, then he used one, then he had, then because nunchucks were too violent, I guess because kids could make him at home, they got rid of his nunchucks in season 3, and then they gave him just a grappling hook for the rest of the series. So that was stupid. So I was like, I'm happy he has a nunchuck, but I was hoping he would have had just like dual wielding and stuff like that. Like he still does the stuff. I was like, oh, that was super cool. Overall, I thought it was, I think it's like a really fun game. I've been playing it just, a bit piece by piece and stuff like that while I've been working and stuff like that. So I haven't been able to, put 100% in, because if I had got this and I had no work done, I would have been like, I'm just gonna, what's the saying, tall gamer. Like I would have just like nerfed that entire thing like a day.
Because I played like the first few levels last night, because it launched day one in Game Pass.
Right, yeah. That's why I was excited.
Yeah, so I downloaded it and played it for a little bit, and I saw there's like a lot of collectibles and stuff, and you can like level up the different characters.
Right. Like they have like the punk frog show up too, and I was just like, a bunch of people be like, "Are those the Battletoads or something like that?" Just like, no, that wasn't making me laugh. But like, no, that was. I think it's a really fun platformer game, and then it's always funny to me that like the 80s Turtle have just stood the test of time of being the most iconic one so far. Because like, again, like majority of people who are TMNT fans would say like, oh, 2003 or 2012 and stuff like that. And those are better shows overall than the 80s show. But the 80s show is just like pure iconic and mainstream pop culture. Like it's the one that everyone knows, that like normies know about. Like it's just everything is related to that one. That's why they're also in the Nickelodeon Brawl, which makes absolutely no sense, because they should use the 2012 Turtles, because that was the first Nicktoons TMNT thing. But whatever. But yeah, it's I think it's really fun. I think if you're a TMNT fan, you'd enjoy it. And yeah, it's definitely a good old time.
Cool.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of getting it.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I'm afraid, because I've played Streets of Rage 4, and that's such a good beat 'em up game. I feel like I might have been spoiled for like everything else.
I mean, like but if you feel that way too, I think it's just, if you want to like play with like friends or something like that, or just like, just casually do stuff, I think that'd be fun. Like I just been playing it like, solo and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so like,
I've
been having such fun.
Yeah, I was talking to you about playing it with Race and Sarah for their Ready Player One
I would love that.
Because like it's up to six. Like, it's up to 6 players.
Yeah, exactly, because they got like Casey
really?
Jones and April.
Holy shit.
Yeah, you can get
I
like
it would max out at 4 like the arcade.
Oh no,
because they have like April and Splinter
and Casey Jones.
Yeah,
but you don't get Casey
Jones.
Jones.
You have to unlock Casey Jones.
Yeah, he's after stage 16. That's when you beat Casey. Get Casey.
There's 16 stages in this game, or is there? Oh my god.
sure. I just know that from what I've been told, like you fight Super Shredder at stage 16. I'm on stage 10 right now. So like no, I'm actually on stage 11 right now. So I think like 5 more, but like that's when they said like after that you unlock Casey and then you can just do a bunch of stuff with Casey.
Pretty meaty for a beat 'em up game. They usually max out at like 8 stages, so
right.
Maybe I will get it.
Yeah, so definitely.
Obviously, the original arcade is a classic game.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Turtles in Time, super fun heist.
And like I said, when I was looking through it, there's a lot of unlockables and stuff to do with the characters, like level them up and everything.
Yeah, exactly. Like April, like leveled up. I think I like, unironically, like not even the fact because I've been crushing on 80s April since I was a little kid. It's just a bad like 80s April is just like so fun to play with, just like with their freaking camera and microphone techniques. Stuff like that. It's like it's hilarious. It cracks me up. It's like how she's like, oh, doing this stuff. I'm like, oh wow, if only you could do this when you got kidnapped like every single episode in an 80s show. But yeah, it's good.
All right, let's move on to a couple of movies. First one being Lightyear, which just came out this past weekend.
Yeah.
I watched
Existential Crisis.
Yeah, I watched it a second time yesterday with my dad, and there's a lot of things to like about the movie, but there's a certain part or a certain point in the movie where it's like this is sort of falling off a bit.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, Jax, if you're thinking about the same thing that I'm thinking of.
I think perhaps like we won't talk about spoilers just yet, but like, I think like I know what you're talking about because like there was a big point for me where I was like, I feel like it's a thing where it's just I'll say this. The first half of this movie, because I remember I sort of just wanted it to go to Disney Plus. Because I was just like, I don't feel like getting up and going to the theater right now. And then like you put freaking Turning Red on Disney Plus. I would have just preferred this on Disney Plus.
Right. I think like I saw an article that like Cartoon Brew put out about like reasons that Lightyear isn't performing as well as Disney wants it to. And part of it is because they shot themselves in the foot. Because the last 3 Pixar movies went straight to Disney Plus. So people kind of expect it now.
What was this one after Soul?
Luca.
Well, no, yeah, it was
Luca.
Okay, so it was like Soul. Was Luca in theaters or was that?
Nope.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so Soul, Luca, and then
it's funny. It's funny because as far as like an animated feature premiere, like pandemic wise, it's still the best animated feature premiere. Like it even did better than Encanto when that came out in November. Because Encanto had like a 40 million like opening weekend. This has like over 50 million opening weekend, and it's still like but it's not as like big as we wanted it to because it's it's a big Pixar movie and it's part of the Toy Story franchise.
Right. No. It's I think that is also a bit damning too. Because it's just like it's so funny. Like I always I was talking to some people about this the other day about how like Toy Story is just like it's one of those series where it's just like all the movies are good. Like Toy Story 4 is one of those where it's just like I don't want to like you, but like you are a good movie. You're just unnecessary. All right, like you have a lot of good in you, and you're a good person. Just stay over there, please. Like it's just like there's just a bunch of stuff like that, and then like those shorts of Toy Story. Like I just watched the dinosaur short they did. That was fucking great. I love that. The one with the dinosaur.
Yeah, I love the shorts and specials they did after Toy Story 3.
Yeah, those were freaking fantastic. I love all of them. I feel all right. So with Lightyear, I feel like one of the biggest things is like you could have just first off. I know several people have said this. There is no way in fucking hell Andy watched that movie in the 90s.
Right?
There is not. I'm bullshit. Like not only because I know like several other reviewers have brought this up, not just Double Toasted, but like other people brought it up, where it's just like it's very progressive for a movie in the 90s. If a kid saw that, where it just so it's like
there's no way this would have existed in the 90s.
No way, and it's PG.
It barely exists in this year.
Yeah, exactly. No,
right?
Disney doesn't have it in them to make a 90s style movie today. They don't have the cojones to do that shit.
Right. No, exactly. It's just like you like because like comedy has evolved so much since the 90s too. Like first off, like Toy Story 1 and 2, 3. Like I think they would have done better if they just like remastered Toy Story 1 or some shit like that. But anyways, like the thing is, there's just so much where I was just like, okay, this is the movie Andy saw when he went to theaters. I was like, okay, so like, is this animated to him or is this like in live action to him? Like, what does he perceive this as? Like, I'm very curious. Does he perceive
They shot
this as
themselves in the foot. There's no way out of it. No matter how you spin it.
It was
dumb.
clearly just something for marketing.
Exactly.
Like, how can we tie this to Toy Story to get more people in the theaters? It's like
yeah. That's like the main problem with this movie is that it's held back by being attached to Toy Story because like I think it's a very interesting story to tell. The thing is like it's attached to Toy Story, so you had to bring in all these other things.
Exactly.
If it was like its own thing, if it's like its own Pixar sci-fi adventure, that'd be cool because like there's the first like I want to say the first like 30 to 40 minutes of this movie is
40
really
minutes
is like really cool.
I'd say the first 40 minutes, in my opinion. Yeah, then after that, like, when the fucking like not Power Rangers show up, like it's like fucking like those lame fuckers. Like,
the side characters were boring.
I hated.
I thought
hated them.
They seemed. I like Taika Waititi, but like it just the chemistry wasn't there for me. Where I'm like,
and he was an ass. I'm not an ass. He was just clumsy bitch. I'm sorry. That's
right.
weird. But yeah.
How dare you?
Yeah, like go ahead.
Go ahead, Saber. Go ahead, Saber.
No, I mean, removing Buzz Lightyear goes to show you how little of an idea they really had. Where it's like this is all marketing. Buzz Lightyear is a character. Toy Story we're acquainted with. The Buzz Lightyear. I mean, there's the quotes, and that's really about it. And just some go-getter. That's it. And to me, I'm like, I was expecting so much more where I'm like, where are the aliens? Where are the different planets and the ships? All right, there's Zurg. They didn't even call him Emperor Zurg. So I guess you'll ignore that, but you have no problem bringing up the awkwardness of spoiler, by the way.
We'll get into spoilers. So I'm gonna put up a spoiler tag because like there is stuff to talk about with this movie.
Okay, I'll say this before we put up the spoiler tag. To go off what Saber's saying, watching this movie, like it makes no sense that Andy would want an action figure of this particular Buzz, in my opinion. There's just like it doesn't look like, oh yeah, like because again, for those people, those rare few in the freaking chat who also watched Buzz Lightyear of Star Command growing up with Patrick Warburton as fucking Buzz Lightyear, something like that. It was like I would watch, like, just stitch those together. Because I mean, the first freaking time they did that in the 90s, Tim Allen voiced in that, and they had like a whole little special. They did because Disney did that all the time back in the 90s and early 2000s, where they had like a movie, but it was actually just 3 episodes stuck together, just because like, oh, that's what we do. Like, it's just like that's the pilot. It's just like 3 to 5 episodes stuck together, and it was fun. Like I rewatched it recently. Like freaking was it Wayne Knight? Is that him?
Yeah.
That the guy from like Jurassic Park, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, him as Zurg was fucking hilarious.
It's wonderful.
He's like, no, I know what's my plan. I'm the one telling you my plan. What are you doing? It's just like he's fucking, yeah, he was great. I loved it.
Which episode was like its own act. And I guess
all right, should I go into spoilers now?
Go ahead. Spoilers.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so spoilers. So if you don't want spoilers, mute the stream, and then I'll unmute it once the spoiler tag goes away.
Active.
Well, for a movie that has to do with like space and science fiction, it felt so limited in its scope. Where at like best it's Interstellar for children, and then
that's like I haven't seen the movie, but just looking at the trailer, that was the vibe I got. I'm like, this is like baby's first Interstellar. Like this doesn't seem like
more
the
than
right
you
kind
know.
of movie.
Yeah, very much.
And it's because it's like again,
it's
my issue. I don't have no interest in seeing this movie, which is why I don't care about it being spoiled for me because I'm not going to watch it. But I'm just like, why in a movie that feels like a tone of Interstellar would the spacesuits be like goofy toy
Doom
designs? Like it just feels so.
Because they got to relate it back to Toy Story. Like,
and then this entire idea shouldn't exist. It feels so like contrived, where it's like the suit, for example. I'm like, okay, it's Doom Guy. Let's be real, but not cool. There was a moment where I actually felt a bit like, what?
It's not Doom Guy. It's not cool.
No. Here's the thing: is they have the suit where it's like the different buttons to press, And I'm like, oh, the red button will be the wing, and they hit it, and it's like airbags.
Airbags.
And I'm like, what?
That was so stupid.
Or how like the laser was taped around the wrist, and I'm like, this is not the Buzz toy. I'm sorry. The Buzz toy was clearly inspired by like Buck Rogers, or like, I am Buzz Lightyear into Space Command, you know, like the fucking Star Command show, versus like, I'm a science boy, and I'm wearing fucking NASA like t-shirt, eating my like spam from a tin tray. I'm like, no, I just feel like they're reaching far too much with an idea where I'm like, you're good.
This sounds like it would be, and correct me if I'm wrong, because again, I'm just imagining what this. It sounds like this would be like in universe of like Toy Story, right? If this is like a movie that exists in the Toy Story universe, it sounds more like it would be the gritty reboot 20 years later,
which would make a lot more sense.
Right, exactly.
It's the live action remake of Toy Story,
right?
So, I don't know. I guess to me, I look at it like the core of like, why did you feel like this was necessary? It wasn't, and I think I felt the same way after seeing Monsters University, where I'm like, this was unnecessary. But then it grew on me, because at the core of it all, like Monsters University really complements Monsters Inc., where it's like we get to learn about Mike and Sully, how they came to be friends. I know there's a bit of retconning involved, but I'm like, this is a good story with good characters, and had a really strong emotional moment where it's like, no matter how much you want something, you can't just you want it and want it and want it, doesn't mean you'll ever get it. That works really well with them becoming a team and then figuring it out, and that grew on me a lot throughout the years. But like when I left Monsters University, I'm like, yeah, it's all right. This one, I'm like, this feels like it's at odds with itself, and I don't know. The entire Zurg thing, I think, was the icing on. Well, okay. Spoiler. Zurg is Buzz
from the future.
Buzz from the future.
They even pulled the whole shit from because they pulled the Toy Story through thing where he was like, Dad, and it's just like, no, I'm just you. Like I was like, dumb. Oh, are they actually gonna do that shit? I was like, what the fuck?
So Emperor Zurg, who again they don't even say Emperor.
It's funny because like I saw Pan's review, and he was saying like, wait, so if the Toy Story canon is right, and like Zurg is Buzz's father, did Buzz do his own mom? And it's like Pan started in hashtag. It's like Buzz did his mom,
right?
Which is great, by the way. But the entire like, I'm like, why would you all let this small joke from Toy Story 2 dictate so much?
Right?
Like that's worth a callback, but Emperor Zurg, no. I took off into space and I found super advanced aliens, like a needle in a haystack, and I brought the aliens back, and the aliens listened to me, and I can they can't say Buzz, they say Zurg.
They say Zurg.
I'm just it felt wasted. I'm like, this is a sloppy movie.
The dumbest thing ever.
It was.
Yeah,
right. I'm like, dude, that should have been. Why can't we have a fucking villain ever? Like seriously, can't we please just have an antagonist who's like, I'm evil?
Not allowed. Antagonists, no, evil. Evil's just a matter of perspective, so we can't explore that anymore.
Pixar has become victim of their own standard, where they're like, we can't be predictable. Therefore, like, you'd think it'd be Zurg being evil, and that's that. We can't do that. We have to subvert expectations somehow. And it's like, no, this is a big, stupid, corny sci-fi, vibe I get from Buzz. Embrace it. And it's like, no, we have to do something to surprise, twist like, the audience.
Zurg is like still evil. Like he's like evil Buzz, like from the future. I
think it sounds weird just from someone like who hasn't seen this movie. It's weird because like, isn't the entire point of Toy Story 1 that like Buzz the toy isn't Buzz Lightyear? Like that's the point, right? Like that's the entire plot of the movie. So like everything like that Buzz Lightyear character experiences and does is not Buzz from the movie. They're all individuals. Like there's a bazillion different Buzz Lightyear action figures, but they're all, in the creepy logic of Toy Story, individual entities.
You're getting
so why would you? the only reason to have all these callbacks is for a meta reason, for us, the audience, of being like, hey, the thing you remember. It has nothing to do with like the internal canon that they're trying to keep going.
Well, a lot of
because Buzz will do the thing where he self narrates, where he's like, "No, Sarkman, why won't you answer?"
Which is like kind of like the base, like
Mind that it's like that's when Buzz still thinks he's Buzz.
Yeah, it's like
from Toy Story.
Yeah,
Run.
It's the default like what a Buzz Lightyear toy does. I
but
guess
like
because like there's that other one
after
from Toy Story too.
Like
Buzz from Toy Story.
To do with it.
Buzz from Toy Story though is like an extreme compared to Buzz from this movie. So I'm like, is Buzz Lightyear the toy the marketing product where they're like tweak his craziness, you know, make him
like small soldiers.
Right, dude. Small soldiers is fucking fun. I will stand that move forever.
I would say exactly same. Exactly.
I was
so the Buzz toy sounds like he's more like the 90s spin-off cartoon that
exactly.
they would
exactly. Okay, like pretty much because like if you think about
it.
Like if you think about like what Saber and like Paleo have been talking about, Tom, with this entire Buzz figure, because like what you're talking about too is like this, it doesn't make sense if it sounds like he's based more on the marketing, because if this Buzz thinks he's the Buzz in this movie, it makes zero sense. He's like, I have to go and fight all these evil alien beings because of the evil Emperor Zurg, and it's just like
the Buzz toy should be based on like the RoboCop cartoon.
Yeah,
Star Command, RoboCop movie.
No,
Star Command.
Star Command, yeah. Buzz Lightyear Star Command would have been.
Dude, they lost a prime opportunity to have hot alien chicks in a Pixar film, and I will never forget. I'll never forgive them for that. No, I mean like the
redhead girl.
Nora, what was her species? The
redhead. I'll find it. Give me one.
The redheads, but no,
that got turned black.
That's another thing. No, that's
I know. It's a stupid meme.
People with that. I made it up, source. But like, again, it felt so limited. Where I'm like, the planet felt kind of dreary and just like, I'm like, dude, I know that hyperspace scenes are cool and very vibrant, but I don't know. I expected just more with the planet, with its ecosystem, with aliens. I want to see aliens.
There's only like two like actual threats on the planet. It's like
she's from
it's the vines and the bugs, and that's it.
Yeah, the vines and the bugs, which is just kind of
and they never explained that. And also with the entire shield wall around the base, I'm like, okay, this is probably a red herring, of course, for Zurg, but like a plot point of like, we're bunkering in, we'll never go into space again. And I'm like, that could have worked more of a plot point of Buzz being like, no, like, and I know he kind of leaned towards that. But like the idea of humanity being like, we've lost, we're done, we're not traveling anymore, we're hunkering down. I think that's like, you could have worked more with that.
Yeah.
Where Buzz is like, no, we are here on a mission, and whatever. I guess I just felt like there are elements here for a great film, and it just didn't work. And the most critical, or the critical issue to it all, is that it's all based around Buzz Lightyear. It just take Buzz out of the equation completely as its own standalone movie. I think it would have been much more effective, because we wouldn't have walked in with those hangups, with bias towards Buzz.
There's a lot of great stuff in here that you can see that was like, this would be a really cool concept if it wasn't attached to Toy Story.
Do you think that was the original idea? Do you think the script started out as an original Pixar film, and someone at Disney was like, make it Buzz Lightyear?
Yeah, it was like, what?
Yeah. That sounds like something modern
I think that
Disney
actually is
pretty
much what it sounds valid.
Which is
why sell it better.
Which is why I'm so much more excited for the new Disney movie coming out later this year called Strange World, which has like actual like really weird alien looking creatures. But for Lightyear, I like Saber said, the hyper speed like scenes look really cool, especially in the theater. And then the side characters, the only side character I really like, and that's before like any of them show up, is Socks, the cat. I love the cat.
Yeah, Socks I actually generally like. I was surprised how much I like
the cat's like a really great like companion robot character. He's really good.
He's essential too. He's essential. If he wasn't in the movie, it would be such a downer.
Yeah.
No, that's facts.
Meow meow meow. His little tapping of the feet.
Yeah, I love his little tapping. It's great because like he moves like a cat, but not enough like a cat. So it's like, oh yeah, it's a robot cat.
Is a cat
I did
bigger?
find it a bit odd though that like one of the most important developments in the movie was Buzz being like, "Hello, emotional support robots. Solve hyperspace while I'm gone." And the robot's like, "I did." And I'm like,
Man, it took me 80
Well,
years.
it took
or
him
some
62
crazy
years
shit.
or
wait,
something.
hold on.
Yeah.
So how about the robots whose jobs are to do hyperspace? I guess they are
Right.
yeah,
They never figured it out.
Which,
but this cat robot
that's,
did.
That's, you know what? And here's the thing. That's one of those moments where I'm like, that's okay. Like
Yeah.
I could get nitpicky where I'm like, oh, but I'm like, you know what? That's fine. Too bad Buzz and again, my hangups with Buzz the toy, where I'm like, that's where I'm struggling with this movie. And it does not see eye to eye. The tone of Buzz the toy to the tone of this movie, I'm like, nope, you missed it. And you know what? Star Command is Chad. Yeah, Star Command, the cartoon show.
Oh yeah.
Buzz Lightyear Star Command.
All right, I'll remove the spoiler tag. So spoiler tags are over now.
Buzz kills Dumbledore.
What
Yeah.
a buzzkill.
But yeah,
Oh, got him.
Buzz kill Lightyear.
Shit.
I'm putting that on my thumbnail. What a buzzkill.
What a buzzkill. But yeah, it is cool moments and stuff, but like it's not enough to like.
It's not enough.
Yeah.
Turning red was superior.
Yeah.
Far superior.
Lightyear, like it could have been its own thing. It didn't need to be attached to Toy Story in any way. And it's a
They
detriment.
made $5
It's a detriment
more
to
dollars
it.
because of that.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
all worth it.
Still better than that shit up.
Um.
Which hero was here for that?
All right. Next, let's talk about another disappointment. Jurassic World Dominion.
Fuck yeah, that bullshit.
I am the
Stupid ass
biggest Jurassic franchise apologist, and I'm disappointed.
movie. Yeah,
So,
see, you know
like-
why? Because it's so stupid.
This must be like
My
a
ending
negative
was
4
better.
out of 10.
Yeah. My
It's-
ending, Paleo, was better.
It's mainly because of like how much wasted potential there is in this movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. My ending
Because
was
like the
better,
thing is
Paleo.
with Jurassic World Dominion and what Jurassic World like the reboot
theme this
the soft reboot franchise that it was setting up. It was setting up having dinosaurs on the mainland. In this movie, there's dinosaurs on the mainland. They show you a little bit of it. But then we go back to one setting again. It was like, what?
Why? Like, why did like? It's just like I heard some bullshit. They're like, we don't want people to think of the dinosaurs as the fucking bad guys or some shit. It's just like fucking. They're eating shit. They're fucking giant
like
ass.
the big
animals
thing about
eating shit.
about this movie is like you see it in the first trailer, and I think a little bit in the second trailer. There's this scene where you see a bunch of these locusts like coming out of a field, and
Stupid.
you're like, oh, locusts, what the hell? And they're giant locusts. They're like this big.
Yeah.
And the whole thing of that is like Biosyn, the evil corporation in this movie, which is like which took
Biosyn. Yeah, we get it. You're
Biosyn. Yeah.
Biosyn. Yeah.
It was actually originally in the first Jurassic Park. Nedry,
Dodson.
Nedry, yeah, the Wayne Knight, Newman from Seinfeld. He
Just say Wayne Knight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No one knows who Nedry is. Okay.
Yeah.
I know.
I'll just say Newman because people who know who Newman is.
Newman.
Yeah, Newman in Jurassic Park was working for
Newman.
Biosyn, who got the little Barbasol can, the shaving cream can from Dodgson. We were like, Dodgson, you got Dodgson here. See, no one cares. Which he's actually in this movie too.
The main villain of all the main
Yeah,
villains. Yeah. We went
Right.
with fucking Dodson, and then they didn't use the original actor because he's a pedo. So,
Yeah. But yeah, Biosyn was like the original bad like rival corporation to Engine in the original Jurassic Park. So this is the movie where like, oh yeah, they're finally using Biosyn as a villain. But not in a very great way because they're using it like these locusts that they genetically engineered to eat, giant locusts genetically engineered to eat all of like the world's food supply except for Biosyn's crops. And it's like that is like the main conflict of this movie.
And it's so stupid.
Yeah.
It's just like, who makes the dinosaurs?
That's
Biosyn.
the
Wow, where are
dumbest
these
idea I've
fucking
ever heard
giant
in
ass?
my
Yeah, it's like,
entire life.
why did you have to go with that plot when we already have a more interesting plot with dinosaurs around the world? And also,
well, not just that. It gives up what they're fucking thinking. Like, anyone would be able to figure it out. Oh, they're specifically not eating biosins, and they're these prehistoric locusts.
Yeah,
I wonder where they came
like the whole
from.
thing of like getting Laura Dern and Sam Neill back was them going to Bison's facility to get proof that these locusts were engineered by Biosyn, even though they're not eating Biosyn's crops, so it's like very obvious. The whole thing is about like them going to the Bison facility, and there's the scene where they go to Malta. There's a couple scenes in the beginning where we see dinosaurs around with Owen wrangling some Parasaurolophus, There's a moment in the Malta scene where they have to go to this dinosaur black market, which sounds very interesting.
So dumb.
So fucking stupid.
It sounds interesting, but the set looks so damn done. Like,
It's
dumb. It's like, where's the black market? Well, walk through this door, and you're there. And it's like, whoa, there it is.
Here's this James Bond supervillain lady who owns raptors because she never.
The thing is, like, I would have been okay with like dumb and stupid if they would actually show it more. Like, there's like this moment where they go past like a dinosaur dog fight, and they're like, no, don't look at that.
Yeah.
Like, they show it for like 2 seconds.
The part with Mirage.
You were there for dinosaurs? That seems you went to the wrong movie for that. Clearly,
no.
It's also dumb. This is the sad thing to me, and I mentioned this to you, Tom, where like the first Jurassic Park was just so inspired. I mean, across the board, firing all cylinders, just one of the best. And every single subsequent film, especially this trilogy, just product. And I guess this one in particular feels like Colin Trevorrow. Is that the guy's name?
Yeah. Doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
Well, I can't help but feel that the Jurassic Park franchise has been hijacked by just executives, business people. Here's our notes. We're going to get what we want.
Probably.
So it's not really like, I mean, I feel like you're any chance of actually getting any good art from this? No, ain't happening. The best you can hope for is big dumb fun, which Jurassic World, the first one, was fun. Big dumb fun. It was fun.
Jax, I haven't seen this movie because I don't watch movies anymore, apparently.
Okay.
But this sounds like to me like because like just based on because I saw the last one. I saw what the fuck?
Fallen Kingdom.
Thank you. I saw Fallen Kingdom.
Yes.
It felt like the setup for this one should have been destroy all monsters with dinosaurs.
No, exactly. That's what I said. I told Paleo this yesterday. I said to Paleo, they should have just gotten all the dinosaur antagonists that they had, like make another Indominus Rex, make another Indo-Rap, whatever the fuck it's called. Whatever thing. Make another fucking
Spinosaurus. Bring the Spinosaurus. Yeah.
Spinosaurus, the raptors from the first movie, all that stuff. Like, have them make a fucking like Jurassic 6 and then have like the fucking like this dinosaur hybrid person be their leader or something. If you want to be stupid, let's get stupid with this shit. And so it's just like, but they didn't. And then the Giga, for something named Giga, there's nothing chat about this bitch because it fucking like went out like a bit. Like, first off, they like hyped this thing up like, oh man, this thing's the Joker. It's like gonna destroy everything. You're like thinking, oh man, this thing's gonna be like Ghidorah. It's gonna be fucking shit up. It's gonna be crazy, man.
It didn't need one person.
One person, and it shows up. It pushes Rexy. And it's just like, oh, I guess Rexy got intimidated. Oh, and then like later on, Rexy and it have a fight, and then this fucking Edward Scissorhands dinosaur shows up, and it's just like, oh, I'm gonna fucking fight you for some reason, and then like they fight, and it was such a bitch move. Like the one from the first movie was so much better. Indominus Rex was such a better antagonist, and like Indominus Rex whooped the fuck out this Giga bitch. Like it's just like I was so upset with this thing, and then like the whole notion, let's go back. No, I'm going to just go on a spree pair. So just join in whenever. Like, okay, so you remember that scene in the beginning? I'm so mad they cut the prologue. That prologue with the flashback.
That's the whole thing. Like with the prologue, when I saw that, because like that's the only reason I went to go see Fast 9 was the prologue for Jurassic World Dominion.
You watched through all the franchise.
Yeah, I watched through all the franchise. Yeah.
That's what's going to happen in the next Jurassic World. They're going to be in it. We need you to catch these dinosaurs. They've caught loose.
But yeah, and I saw the
family
prologue in the IMAX screening, and I was like, wow, this looks amazing. Because like with that, because there's like that prologue is like 4 minutes of no dialogue, just dinosaurs like being dinosaurs.
And then the T-Rex.
And then the T-Rex going to terrorize a drive-in.
Messing up that interracial couples makeout session. The damn racist.
And it looks so cool, and it's like it set a tone for this movie with that prologue.
Right.
Whereas like this movie's gonna be really cool. It's gonna be full of dinosaurs like messing up shit in the real world. And that's not what this movie is.
No, it's not. They fucking could have had all the stuff with the dino tracker. Where they're like, online right now. Go online right now, type in dinotracker.com, and they have all these cool little sections of like people using their iPhones to track like what the dinosaurs are doing and shit like that. And they're just like, oh, the Mosasaurus is swimming around the ocean in this area. Oh, there's a couple raptors in the woods. This person was nearly attacked by an Allosaurus. This Triceratops appeared in this person's front yard. The entire movie should have been that. That is vastly more interesting.
Very confused because on the one hand, it's like it sounds like some executive is like, well, we can't stray too far from the Jurassic Park formula.
We need a park.
We have to have a park. But on the other hand, but the entire point of like, if you're trying to appeal to mass market, right? Like smooth brain, we just want our dollars. The only reason people go and see these movies is to see dinosaurs. So like, wouldn't some executive be like, we should have more dinosaurs in our dinosaur movie to make them more money?
Like, no, let's make locusts.
Nobody did.
Like, no, let's use fucking locusts.
There was did you all see well, I know that there were a bunch of leaks leading up to this movie of like different scripts and ideas. And like in typical 4chan fashion, like there's always the one window where it's like, yep, there it is. There's the like locust. I don't know. There's the one where apparently the dinosaurs were all running all over the place, which I was hoping for, like that battle little bighorn, or whatever, or
battle at Big Rock,
whatever.
With the Allosaurus, that would have been dope.
That was super cool.
That was
badass.
Like, I think after you saw the movie, right?
Right. I was that was more impactful than Fallen Kingdom and whatever this last one was called combined.
Dominion.
Yeah, but it was so much superior. Like it was just like all you had to do was get those fucking dinosaurs. Because the thing with it really pissed me out because like I want to see the Giga do something, but then at the end also. A big problem with this franchise is like you knew they weren't going to kill anyone off, but they keep putting them in these scenarios where it's like they're like inches away from death.
There's even a moment where like you think like Ian Malcolm's going to die. It's like, is he going to die? Or are they going to kill kill off a main character? It's like, no, they're not.
There was in one of the scripts that leaked, it was like two kids who were supposed to get caught up with the dinosaurs because like apparently they were in New York and
again. Oh, not again. They were in LA. They were
again,
in LA.
But like it was a thing where like there was a parade and the dinosaurs actually like were hidden as the floats, and then like the T-Rex started singing.
Oh, Robot! I meant to sing that song with me. Do you want a hot dog or do you want a hot dog? Yeah. I mean that would have been perfect. That would have been perfect.
So I realize now with my bullshit, I have to like do money laundering with my bullshit where I have to put in a little bit of lie with some truth, and then I get you guys. So I'm learning, I'm evolving with my bullshit.
Great. He's learning to lie better.
I will be like, a lawyer yet.
There's
Eddie died, Arthur. Eddie was a hero, Arthur, and he got fucked up.
Yeah, you can
in Lost World.
You can.
Oh, that's right. We're born Freddy.
Like you can definitely tell something about this movie if like I'm disappointed, because like I've loved everything that like Jurassic has done. I even like Fallen Kingdom, and even after watching Dominion, I'm like I like Fallen Kingdom more.
I thought you said Fallen Canadian.
The Fallen Canadian was like. Well, the thing with like fucking Fallen Kingdom is it has that Looney Tunes raptor.
Yeah, the
Indio smiling at the camera.
At least there was the mansion. At least the mansion was different. Cheesy, but for Dominion. To be like, we're bringing them back to Italy, Great Valley, and also we can mind control the dinosaurs now. And there was no like tension building up to like the dinosaur throwdown at the end, where it's like
Yeah,
they said the Giga Chad source, the Giga Chad source, and then why they fight? This fight isn't about us, and I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah,
at least
that line would have made a little more sense if they kept the prologue in, but they didn't, which is really weird. Yeah,
it was so they did. What pisses me off again is, like Paleo said earlier, the Giga kills not one human. Not one at all. Like, fucking Indominus.
Wants to be left alone. That poor thing was like, leave me alone.
The problem is that they had too many main characters, like, in this movie. Yeah.
Like, the only one they could have killed would have been the black person, which they are not. They're used. The first person to die in Camp Cretaceous was a black person too. So I'm just gonna say that. So yeah, there you go. Okay, like
they brought back the other raptor trainer from Jurassic World 1, where Owen meets him. And there's a moment where I thought he was going to die. It's like, remember how we got the raptors back in the cages? It's like, roll out of the way. I never got the timing right. It's like, I thought he was going to die. But it's like, no, like,
I was hoping he was going to die, but then Mirage from The Incredibles has a laser pointer.
Right. And then she's
like,
it's weird because like she was being built up as a little villain, and then we never see her again. It was like, what?
Never again.
I like the part.
You can put a laser pointer on a gun. It's pretty effective.
No, it needs to be dinosaurs. And also,
okay.
I was I laughed out loud. 2 parts of the film where I actually laughed out loud in the theater was when they were in the tailspin, plane landing.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, "There's only one parachute. It's Howard Bryce Dallas, whatever.
Bryce Dallas Howard, yeah.
You and your fine ass. We gotta eject you out." And I'm thinking it's like a parachute. You jump out of the plane. It's a goddamn cockpit. And I'm like, that's not how those planes work.
You would like hit your fucking head. You just crack your head.
Only goddamn fighter jets do that. No, literally no other plane does.
Also, that Quetzalcoatlus, the giant pterosaur that's on top of the plane. That thing is fucking Rodan sized, like for how like exaggerated that is.
I wouldn't say Rodan, but Rodan Jr.
Yeah, Rodan Jr. Because like I saw a comparison of like that and like an actual Quetzalcoatlus, and it is huge. Same with like
it's Jurassic Park.
Yeah. Which that I'm fine with, as long as like there's cool scenes with them.
Dude, this is the moment I realized that this movie was just dumb as a bag of rocks. Was when they were like. They got out of the train, like it was like Laura Dern or Grant, or I can't remember.
Grant, and then like freaking the extreme dinosaur girl.
And then the clone girl, Jesus! But
she should have turned into a dinosaur.
They were going through the tunnel.
Wait, what?
I'll tell you in a second, Tom. I'll tell you.
Okay, yeah.
And it's like a bunch of Dimetrodons show up. And it's like, oh no, it's the Dimetrodon pits. They're deadly because there's a human skull over there for some reason. I'm like, what the fuck are these dinosaurs doing in a fucking cave mine that's locked off? They'll die. Like, and there's a skull. Like, this is Pirates of the Caribbean. I laughed out loud.
No, that was so stupid because it's just like, this is literally a high tier facility with college students above. So like, are you saying like you've thrown like people down there with these Dimetrodons? Like, what the fuck are they eating?
That's whoever like goes against Apple CEO Tim Cook, because that's what the bad guy looks in here. He just looks like Tim Cook.
Yeah, exactly. So
they come out and say good morning.
Yes. So Tom, to go back to what I was saying beautifully. So this girl, right? And so in the last movie, we find out she's part dinosaur. So that's my story. I'm sick of that.
That's not what it is.
Just have this. So she like has this DNA where she's a clone, right? And her mom was basically the clone that she was like. Okay, so it's so fucking convoluted. All right, so she's a clone, right? And the way she was like born was the person she was cloned from gave birth to her, but she like removed all the like diseases and stuff that she could potentially have, and so she died. And then at the end, she was supposed to digivolve into a dinosaur and fight the Gigasaurus, but then she didn't because they were like, "Oh, Rexy has to do it." But it was so fucking built up, but they didn't do it, and it was stupid. But yeah, like she's a fucking clone.
She did, or she didn't turn into a dinosaur?
No, she didn't. She was supposed to, but she didn't. I don't care, Bailey. I'm remembering my story. My story is canon. My story is canon. I'm gonna hire an animator to animate that entire 10-minute spiel I did, so we can not an animator, fucking like what's that called when they like just do
artist?
storyboard. Yeah, thank you, Tom. Storyboard artist.
Yeah, just do an animatic. Yeah.
Yeah, do that. Because
Daily 18, we didn't even bother putting up a spoiler warning. We've just been shitting on
it
this
was
the whole
stupid.
time, apparently.
It was stupid. She was like, okay, first off, this bitch, I don't care. She's like fucking like what this is a kid, but she's stupid. She like let all the fucking dinosaurs loose in the last one. So it's like, you have killed how many innocent people now? Like, do you know how many fucking people like you have like unintentionally murdered by letting all those dinosaurs out into the wild? And so it's like, okay, fuck it. And so she's like getting attitude, like, I can't stay here. I got to do this. I'm a fucking teenager. You're not my real parent. Blah blah blah. Like, because like Owen and Bryce Dallas thick ass is like talking like they're taking care of her because like they're the only one she has, and the government's looking for her because she's like a perfect clone.
Criminal. Who's ruined the world?
Yeah, they're looking for her, and she's just going out in town, like doing all this stuff. And then something I think is like the stupidest fucking thing, right? So this is something that I've never gotten like with the sequels, but like they make it clear, like in the first movie, Owen trains raptors, and in the Navy, he just learned everything to become some badass, like he can do everything. So whenever he sees a dinosaur that's like dangerous, he puts his hand out like, hey. Yeah. And the dinosaur automatically stops. It's just like, no. These are not the raptors you trained. These are fucking
you need to get a storyboard artist to just have someone bite his hand and be like,
hold on.
Right.
So are you still going?
No, go ahead, Saber.
I was hoping for two things. So the first one, okay, we're start over. Number one, Baby Blue, whatever. Come on.
Beta,
whatever.
Beta.
You can't tell me that was straight up just being the executives. We're gonna make so much money off of these idiots because they love Baby Yoda,
Baby Groot, then Baby Yoda, now Baby Blue.
Oh, what color will it be? You fool! It's in the name. So, but then at the end where they brought back Baby Blue to Blue, and Blue's looking at Owen Thunderguns, and I was so hoping for him because he was looking at her all forlornly. I was so hoping for him to go, you know what? One more for the road.
Right.
You know, and just hold his hands up to her or something. Right. And I was waiting for her to go like, yeah, and just run off. I was hoping for him like, come on.
You should have just been like, and then just wave, you know.
Just turn right.
Bye.
Bye, Velociraptor living in our backyard.
Right.
You know? That's reproducing.
That's fucking killing like.
I wonder how many people you're about to murder this week.
That's the thing that fucks me up because we're going on, and I feel like we're going for the very obvious shit. Here's the thing: is like this entire film, it's themed about humanity controlling nature, which has always been an overarching theme, if not the theme of the entire franchise.
Yeah.
But like, okay, the locust. Oh, that was such a fucking boneheaded move where it's like,
stupid.
Well, there's one thing about dinosaurs, but locusts will wipe out your agricultural world. And your one genetic plant is like the only one left. Well, God, I wonder who did it. But like, it's like, okay, you walk away being like, okay, humanity, we are fragile. We're not in command. Nature can fuck you up. And we got lucky bringing back those locusts. And now what do? We live with the dinosaurs side by. Fuck you. I mean, like, let's go. Look at my shotgun. We're gonna go get them. Like, right? I thought it was so weird for this entire time. They're like, dinosaurs and scary, and you can't live next to humanity. And then it's like at the end, I guess we'll have to get along. I guess the mosasaurus will have to fucking murder humpback whales.
Yeah, it's like bullshit. It would have eaten those fucking things right then and there. Like I was like so pissed off with that whole the mosasaurus at the beginning of the movie. Literally, they confirmed this. It like ate an entire like crab boat of people. Like these people are just doing their jobs, like just fishing for their jobs, and it fucking comes up and eats like a crab cake. And then it just eats everyone on the boat.
All of humanity. Like, it would be impossible to have life existing the way it does right now.
Yeah, it's just like the military would have just fucking nuked those shits. Like, just like fucking blasted them up.
It works for something as outrageous as Pacific Rim, where it's like the kaiju corpses and then harvesting it and making like buildings out of it. That's cool. And that's bad.
The other thing is that Pacific Rim specifically has it that the kaiju attacks are getting more frequent as time goes on. So before there's only a couple and it's manageable. It's like a natural disaster. This is like they're multiplying. They're everywhere. Like this is not gonna work. Like
we're about to hit a triple event. Right. We're fucked. Right. We are. It's exponentially getting worse. and like more frequent with more kaiju, we're fucked. Versus dinosaurs, where I'm like, it's you just had Owen Thunderguns throw a rope around a dinosaur and it calmed it down. Like, gather them up, put them in a zoo. This time, don't fuck it up. Like, this shouldn't be a problem. Like, or kill them. Just kill them. You know, I'm sorry.
You would kill them. Absolutely kill them.
If your entire thing is like, oh, nature and man and fucking around with it and controlling, I'm okay, then just wipe them out. Humanity is really good at killing shit. Very good at it.
Very good.
That would have
killed them all soon.
That was part of the second movie a little bit, where there was the I think was the DFW or the
put them back on the fucking islands.
Yeah.
Whatever.
There's so much about
Saber,
like what?
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say. Yeah, Paleo, go.
I was gonna say there's so much about the franchise, this soft reboot of the Jurassic franchise that could have been executed a lot better. Like, I think the first movie did it well, where it's like, oh yeah, we have a functioning park, but then like,
I was cool at that.
Yeah, and then the executives and like the shareholders or whatever, they're the ones that fucked it up, because they were like, we need more profits, we need something more exciting. It was like. What, you're gonna make a dinosaur that doesn't even exist? It was like that
right.
Yeah.
that was a good concept, because like that's like what would have happened with the original Jurassic Park if it got to that point. Eventually capitalism would do its thing and we'd all be fucked. And it's also kind of funny because like Jurassic World is also like metatextually what the franchise is. You know, that's what's kind of made it interesting. Like, it's commenting on itself in real time, essentially.
Well, also don't forget that like it's not even like the dinosaurs put butts in the seat, but also it's like it's genetic power, where it's like technically it doesn't even have to be dinosaurs. You can make a fucking monster, or you can like go nuts with this power, but they never really do.
You've basically already done that.
Dude, the part. Okay, there was another moment in the movie where I laughed out loud. Was okay, so like Dr. Grant and Laura Dern went to like they go get a locust to bring back and be like, see, I told you that biocid is sinful. And they go into like this section of like the lab where they have a bunch of like little buckets of wheat, and like the fucking locusts are in there, and they grab one and then they leave, and then like Tim Apple's like, oh no, they found it, burn everything, and then a bunch of like flamethrowers are burning the locusts. And I swear, there's like maybe like 50 locusts in this room that multiply to like 50,000, and they blast off through the air ventilation, which apparently there was a fucking ventilation shaft that was like plastic, and went poof, like a flamethrower out across the Great Valley. And I'm like, what? Like, how did they come out of nowhere? And how did they get out? Like, there are moments where like Jurassic Park, hubris, okay? The Indominus Rex, another hubris moment because he made something that's not natural. This one, it's like, it built a fucking ceiling out of metal. Problem solved. Like, this is, I expect this even without dinosaurs. Like, this shouldn't be a problem. Whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
I think
go watch
what I said
apparently.
to you.
Yeah.
And what I said to you, Saber, after we watched that short, the battle one, I was saying it sounds like Dominion should have been a like limited series where like each episode was like an hour of just examining like this is what the world is like now.
That's what I'm hoping they do after this, is just like a series of shorts, or like a streaming series where it's like, oh yeah, this is like an anthology series of people living with dinosaurs around the world.
No humans, just dinosaurs. Have them like start talking. Have them get muscles and like get really jacked and say, "Let's fossilize them," and then they just like start jumping places.
Yeah.
Like,
I would watch that show.
Yes, dude, like that shit would be hype, man.
I still have Camp Cretaceous season 5 coming out next month. Which season 4 went off the rails a little bit, but I'm still excited to see that. Yeah,
this franchise went off the rails. That sounds so uncharacteristic.
Yeah, I'm so happy that Prehistoric Planet I didn't watch until after Dominion, and I'm like, oh, thank
Prehistoric Planet is amazing.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's a fucking.
But I'm actually hoping they do another Lego series, because the Lego series they did called like Legend of Isla Nublar, where they're like trying to like it's a Lego series of them like making the park, and it was pretty funny. I like Lego can do a lot of very funny things with this franchise.
Let the Giga talk. How would you feel if the Giga started talking to Jeff Goldblum after like his like show? It's just like, Nice try, bum. Some shit. I don't know. Like fucking.
But anyway, Jurassic World Dominion. There is going to be an extended cut
in a dinosaur body.
There is going to be an extended cut, which is probably going to add the prologue and like 9 minutes of other footage we haven't seen.
Boo. I don't care. I want my extended cut in there. I'm gonna go to Hollywood.
They'll have your 9 minutes in there. Yeah.
I will put my 9 minutes in there. Dude, chat, if you want to know my ending for Jurassic World, which is so much better, go to AC Race Best channel. What day was it, Paley? I don't remember.
I think it was Saturday night.
Saturday night, whatever.
Yeah.
MomoCon vlog. You will hear the masterpiece I came up with. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
Until I get the anime. I need to find an artist to draw storyboards for me for this. Yeah.
But yeah, I have been playing the Jurassic World Evolution 2 DLC for Dominion though, and that's been fun. The movie itself though, I mean, I'll wait to see the extended cut. I'll only watch it like 5 more times. So yeah.
Yes.
Anyway.
Still. Okay, wait. How would you rank them, real quick?
Honestly, I'd probably put Dominion at the bottom.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, because I was like rewatching some of Jurassic Park 3, and like there's a bunch of stuff I don't care for in that movie, but like you get the boost from animatronics. You also get the boost, like those are the best looking raptors in the franchise. I don't care.
Yeah, they look great.
Yeah,
there's even a shot in there, you know, the shot where the Pteranodon's like looking back at them. I thought that was a puppet. That is CG.
Right.
And I was like, what?
That is CG?
What? Like,
wait. When the pterodon looks at the screen, after the
I thought that was like an animatronic puppet, but no, that's a CG shot. And I'm like, holy shit. That's amazing.
Yeah,
then, I mean, JP3 has the best scene in the entire franchise.
Alan. Yeah, there you go. They should have made a whole movie on it. I'm telling you. All I'm saying is it would have been hype.
That's a preview of Jurassic World 4.
When Maisie transforms and is like, let's fossilize them.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the original script for Jurassic Park 4? It's insane.
Was it with the alien crossover is like a xenomorph?
No, it's like with like it's like with the human dinosaur hybrids and stuff.
See?
It's really weird.
They should have done that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just do it.
Late.
Just go full ham.
Yeah.
Like the next movie is gonna have fucking Blue and Vin Diesel like driving together. If they're fucking in space now, it's just like, what I respect about you, you got family in Beta right there. Some shit. Like I don't fucking care. Like they're gonna do it.
All right, let's go to trailers and things. We started late, so I know Saber, you probably have to go soon. Any last thoughts on Dominion before we move on?
Bullshit.
All right, we're gonna go over some Netflix Geek Week trailers. We'll go through these pretty quick. The Sea Beast.
I didn't watch any of these.
Yeah, this is from the same some of the same people that made Moana and Big Hero 6. And it definitely has a Disney quality to how it looks.
It does.
That's coming out July 8th. Looks interesting. I like sea creatures and stuff, obviously, so I'll be interested to see that.
To see it?
Yeah, to see it. The next thing is something called Entergalactic.
Which looks dope.
Yeah, it's I know we say this about a lot of things, but this is the one that most looks like Spider-Verse with like a shading and everything, and also the
It is very Spider-Verse adjacent.
Yeah, in the animation style as well. Where it's not like completely.
It looks a bit like Arcane. It's like we took those two and blended them.
Right.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't sure if 40sh was doing the animation, but I don't think it looks as refined as 40sh's stuff. It's a little bit more basic, but it's definitely inspired by like things like Spider-Verse and Arcane.
Definitely. And that comes out. What is the release date here? This fall. Not a specific release date yet. Apparently the part 2 of Inside Job is coming out.
Yeah. It was a good clip.
Yeah, it doesn't have a release date yet. But it was just a clip that they posted.
Look forward to it. It's a fun show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised how much I enjoyed the first season.
Same. Reagan's a great character. Love her.
And the fucking intro song is so fucking cool. I love
Yeah.
the intro for that
Boom,
show.
boom, 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 boom. It's good. Very good.
And Netflix is apparently doing a lot of video game shows. The first one being Cyberpunk
It's our time.
Edge
Gamers rise
Runners.
up.
Which
Dude,
it looks so much better than the game.
oh my god, I'm glad something finally good came from this fucking disaster. And
Yeah.
the fact that Trigger's doing it,
Yeah.
let's fucking go.
Yeah, there's like shots in the middle of this trailer that looks like, oh, this looks amazing.
Trigger doing what they do best.
It's like if Trigger made Ghost in the Shell, basically.
The thing that I'm interested in is that Trigger, really good at aesthetic, their storytelling usually falls apart by the third act.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're doing something that's like based on an existing IP makes me think maybe we can have some coherent storytelling the whole time.
Yeah. Though they did have that one short in Star Wars Visions, which is like, oh yeah, this is like
So
a Star Wars
Star
thing.
Wars Visions.
It's
fun.
It's good.
Disney Plus.
Yeah. It's like my favorite thing to come out
I don't
of
give Disney
like,
money.
Yeah, it's my favorite thing to come out of Disney
Ever.
Star Wars.
I mean,
You still need to
that's not a
watch
high
Clone
bar to
Wars
clear.
2003.
We
still
said
need to
Disney.
watch
I said Disney Star Wars.
I know he said Disney, but I
Yeah,
said
yeah.
he still needs to watch.
But just in
I know,
general?
Just
Yeah,
in
yeah.
general. He needs to watch Gendy's work with that.
Yeah, I mean, Gendy.
Then we
Gendy's
have
the goat.
Dragon Age Absolution.
That looks pretty cool too. My sister's a huge fan of Dragon Age, so
Yeah, I've never played any of the Dragon Ages. By the way, Cyberpunk Edgerunners is coming out in September, and this is coming out in December. Which is very, yeah, it looks interesting.
do you know who the animation studio for that is?
I
'Cause
don't
it
know
looks
the
really
animation
good.
studio for this one.
It's good. They did good.
Then we have the Cuphead having its season 2 come out August 19th. August 19th?
Cool,
I thought it
cool.
was. For some reason, I was thinking it was next month.
Well, it's almost July, so
Yeah. But yeah, I really love the Cuphead show, so I'm excited to see more episodes of that.
Yeah, the first season was pretty good.
Yeah. Then we have Sonic Prime, which Sega has been so weird with Sonic like these past couple weeks. With
Past couple weeks, past couple decades, my dude.
I mean, as far as like showing Sonic, it's really weird what they've been
Yeah.
doing. Like with Sonic Frontiers and the show with Sonic Prime,
Oh,
they're like, here's a look at like Sonic Prime, and it's like, "Brick," and there's like, yeah, that's all you get. like what?
Right.
Like
And
here's
then it's like here's
Shadow
a little
for
bit
a moment.
longer of a look. And here's Big the cat, fan favorite. I'm just
Yeah.
like, that's the guy you want.
It's, I still don't know what this
show.
show's going to be like. It's like you've just shown characters in like this setting of like a Green Hill Zone type area, and that's it. You haven't shown like what this show's gonna like, as far as like what the writing is gonna be like. It's just you haven't shown any of it yet.
Yeah.
The date's still to be announced for that. But yeah, Sega's been weird with that, and also Sonic Frontiers of how like, oh yeah, they didn't show like the actual Sonic levels. They only showed the hub world. It's like, what? It's very strange.
It's almost like the game's half baked and not done, and they're gonna rush it out anyway to make the holiday release.
Yeah.
Like every company does.
You see
every
that
year.
quote from them? There was like, oh yeah, we've heard fan feedback. We're not listening. And they're like what? And then,
Well, I mean, good on you sticking to your guns and not wanting money. I guess. Like, I can kind of respect it, sort of.
it's like we've heard fan feedback and they don't get it. It was like, then show us like the game, like, and it's
Right.
show us what it's
Then why
supposed
did
to
you
be
choose
like.
to show the part that we don't get? It's
Yeah.
Like, all right, buddy. But whatever.
And
fine.
then
It's fine.
the last like Netflix thing from the Geek Week thing is Castlevania Nocturne, which is the new Castlevania series coming to Netflix. Date still to be announced, but it's following Richter Belmont, which I'm familiar with from Symphony of Night in the beginning of that, and I still need to play Rondo of Blood.
I'm pretty optimistic about that. like the pedigree's very good. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it should be good.
Even though I still want them to do the Devil May Cry show they talked about like years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And then never talked about again.
And then there was a couple more trailers here. Tuca Bertie season 3. I still need to watch season.
Is that on
I haven't watched
streaming yet?
any of that show.
Yeah,
Tuca Bertie
season 2's on HBO Max, I think.
Okay, sweet.
But yeah, that's coming out July 10th on Adult Swim.
Good.
And then the last trailer here is Kung Fu Panda: The Dragon Knight, which is coming out next month, July 14th. And this is interesting because it's a series that's actually having Jack Black voice Poe in it.
Oh,
That's
so it's
cool.
not related to the Nicktoons one?
Right.
Oh, okay.
So they're probably going to do like some retconning with that.
Yeah.
As they always do.
As is tradition.
Yeah. No franchise has any integrity anymore. We're post integrity.
Integrity Farm.
Integrity Farms. Saber, did you need to go?
Is there any final thing you want me around for, or
you don't need to if you don't want to. I know you have a thing.
Yeah, I gotta bounce here then. In that case, thank you for letting me rant about Lightyear and Dominion.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Hopefully, movies might be. Well, actually, there was that thing, Tom, you brought up that was a stop motion horror animated
Oh,
movie.
is
Mad
it
God.
Mad God? Oh yeah, that looks so cool. Yeah.
That looks so fucking good.
That's what we need to watch.
I want to watch it so fucking bad.
What is
The-
like
the-
Phil Tippett or whatever the name of the stop motion
Yeah,
guy
Phil
is?
Tippett.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Looks
I saw
really
that
good.
because I hadn't really heard of Phil Tippett's work very much. But I saw that trailer, I'm like, oh, so that's where M. Strange got all his ideas from.
Yeah.
Now I get it. Like, it's just straight up, just that fucking grungy, gross, tactile stop motion. I'm like, give me that shit. Spent like, what, 30 years working on this fucking crazy thing?
Unbelievable.
I remember someone tweeted about it on my timeline. That's how I found it, and there was like, yeah, I'm like, what the fuck is this? It's like, yeah, he just spent 30 years doing it. I'm just like, wow, pretty bold of him to name the movie after himself. He's a fucking mad god for spending 30 goddamn years on this movie.
Paleo, before I bounce, as far as like the world's largest land creature goes, as I'm pretty sure if I'm correct, Argentinosaurus.
That's one of them. There's a lot of other different sauropods, like the one that was in Prehistoric Planet, and also there's a version of it in Dominion called Dreadnoughtus, which is a really cool name, Dreadnoughtus. It means fear nothing. Which
That's a really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. But correct me if I'm wrong. So I'm pretty sure a blue whale blows as far as not blows.
As far-
it blows. It blows. It's the heaviest by orders of magnitude. But
Yeah,
as
yeah.
far as the length of a creature, that
there are sauropods that are longer. Yeah.
Wouldn't it be cheating though with their neck and tail?
Yeah, but well, not cheating as far as like when you're counting length.
Bastards.
Yeah.
The longest creatures are sauropods.
Well,
Yeah,
actually,
that's-
if you're talking about living organisms, I mean, there's a jellyfish that is longer than a blue whale, but that's like it's just its tentacles are like so fucking long. So,
what's the jellyfish?
I think it's a lion's mane jellyfish.
SpongeBob's like, yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna go and peace out. You all have a wonderful evening. Thanks for having me.
Later.
See you boys.
Later,
Bye.
Right.
All right. Next thing, I guess Tom and I can talk a little bit about this is Summer Game Fest, which had some things.
It
Sorta.
did. Yeah. I honestly, I didn't like watch it throughout the week. I just kind of like checked in on
Yeah,
gaming sites.
there was like
what's going on?
there was one specific like show they had on like a couple Wednesdays ago, where Jeff Keighley was like presenting it, and it's funny because this is the show like he was hyping up, but then like a week before it happened, it was like, oh, temper your expectations though. It was like because like they had it to where you could watch this in IMAX theaters. It was like, man, I feel bad for the people who went to the theater to see this because like they didn't get much from that.
Who would have thought Jurassic World was the second worst thing in theaters?
But
Jesus.
with Summer Game Fest, like, because even like the biggest announcement from that was leaked out beforehand with the Last of Us remake.
Well, that's everything. I mean, and that's their biggest announcement. It's like, oh, they're doing Last of Us third time. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, like we got the game, we got remastered, now they're just remaking it in the Last of Us 2 engines. Like,
it's funny because like the most exciting game wasn't even in that show. It was in Devolver Digital's show, which is a game called The Plucky Squire. It looks really cool. It's like it starts out as like a story. Yeah,
pretty good about that.
It starts out as like a storybook thing, in 2D, where you're going along a little adventure, and then you pop out of the storybook into a 3D world and like a kid's room. It looks really neat, and then you can go onto other surfaces as in a 2D plane. It looks really cool.
That's pretty cool.
And then there was a Microsoft show that happened.
Yes, I watched that.
Yeah, which there were a few surprises, but nothing too big because they were only focusing on things that were coming out like in the next 12 months.
The thing I was most excited about from that show was Team Ninja's next game. They're basically doing like a Chinese version of Neo from what it looks like, and sign me the fuck up for that. That looks dope.
Yeah,
they didn't show anything actually interesting. They probably just showed like the opening cutscene, because the opening, like the cinematic, was very similar to the opening cutscene for Neo. But yeah, as long as they don't fuck it up and have in-game polygon models that are unoptimized and are millions of polys and can't run like they did with the fucking Final Fantasy game, like we should be golden.
Yeah.
They showed Starfield. It looks
did
like a Bethesda game.
It does. It's like
Yeah,
it looks like Bethesda. It's weird because like you see like a montage of like other planets that look way more interesting than the planet they focused on. Is like because there's a couple other like planets in that montage where like, oh, that's a weird looking creature. That's a weird looking creature, and like a different environment. But the first planet they show is like a barren rock wasteland. It's like, why are you focusing on that first?
Because those other things are probably like randomly generated, and that's like all there is to that planet. And it's just like, well, the ones that we can build out are just going to be a corridor shooter because we're Bethesda.
One big thing.
Wake me up when the new Doom comes out.
Yeah, one big thing from this presentation. I was trying to think of the word. Was Persona games coming to Xbox and also PC and everything else.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was like, oh, Atlas finally let go of the shackles. Because like Atlas has been really weird about like letting Persona on other platforms.
You know what I think was like the most like impactful thing from the Microsoft show though was what wasn't there. No news on Halo Infinite.
Oh, yeah, nothing.
Fucking nothing. They're still grinding away on season whatever the fuck. Like, the game's still basically dead. No updates. They didn't even have a little, like, here's the progress on our roadmap. It's just like, nope. Still got nothing to show. And it's like, that title's aging pretty poorly, guys. Halo Infinite? Fucking more like an infinite amount of time before it's done.
I did see a little bit about the Forge stuff. I saw a little video about that, and the Forge stuff looks neat. If like, because
with the Forge was pretty cool 15 years ago when it first came out.
Where like people can just make their own types of maps and also even campaigns. It's like it's like they're handing the players, here's the tools, make your own game.
Yeah, like, we can't be bothered. I mean, Forge has always been, like, a pretty big staple of, like, keeping the game alive, which is why they should have fucking launched with Forge. But, no, it really feels like at this point, like, this is 343's third strike. You know? Like, they fucked up so many times. Like, at this point, just like, I can't trust you guys. Like, you failed. I mean, this is technically their fourth strike if you include MCC. You know, like
Yeah.
they fucked MCC, which was like such a bunt. Like there was no reason not to be able to knock that out of the park. Like just give everyone the games they care about. They couldn't do that. Halo 4, not great. Halo 5, dumpster fire. And this game squandered what little potential it had by not doing having any fucking post game or anything. So it's just like this team has proven for the better part of a decade that they're incompetent, top to bottom. And like honestly, if I was Microsoft, I would probably dissolve the studio and start over, because like they have just failed consecutively. Like, do not trust these people with this franchise. They know not what they're doing.
Yeah. The other two showcases that happened were Capcom's showcase and Square Enix's like 25th Final Fantasy VII showcase. The Capcom showcase, they showed a few things. They showed a bit of Street Fighter 6. They showed
It looks pretty good.
Yeah. From what I understand, because like I don't play fighting games in Street Fighter, but from what I understand, it looks like it's shaping up to be better than 5.
Fuck.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did not like
Piece
5
of shit.
at all.
5. Bitch-ass 5.
And then they showed a bunch of the Monster Hunter DLC, which looks like they're adding a lot with that. And that's on top of all the free updates they've given the Monster Hunter. They showed a bit of Exo Primal, the weird dinosaur game they have. It's like
Right, yeah.
it's like, oh, you got like these like exo suits and stuff, and then you're fighting waves of dinosaurs, but also other players. It's weird.
Sounds like a better Jurassic Park movie than the new Jurassic Park movie.
I actually looked up some last night top 10 dinosaur games coming out in 2022. There's actually a lot of interesting stuff coming out.
Because everybody's like, fuck, they're not making good Jurassic Park stuff, I'll make it myself.
Yeah, there's like one like there's one that's like a survival horror that's kind of like Alien Isolation almost. That looks
cool.
interesting. And then there's another one where it's like, oh yeah, it's a team of mercenaries versus a team of dinosaurs. And I was like, oh, that's cool.
Ooh. That is pretty dope.
But also at Capcom Showcase they showed Resident Evil stuff, which I was very excited about. I saw that. I was like, oh yeah, we finally get our DLC. And there's a DLC for a chapter that happens after the end of the game. But they're also adding in playable characters to Mercenaries mode with Chris Redfield's going to be playable. Heisenberg is going to be playable, and also Lady D. And what's funny about that is like, oh yeah, you're going to have your tower over everybody else by like being 9 foot tall.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then what's very interesting, I didn't know they would do this, but they made a third person mode for the game. I was like, oh.
Oh wow, I hope you can be Lady D in third person. Looking down. Oh, why am I looking down so often?
But yeah, because like there's a lot of moments in Resident Evil 8 where would be very different in third person, especially that baby.
Yeah, fuck
it feels
that, baby.
like they're probably doing that to like ease the transition to Resident Evil 4 remake, since it's gonna also
I guess, but we've already had Resident Evil 2 and 3 remakes, so I mean I'm not sure why like you would need, because this seems like just icing on the cake for the DLC for me.
Maybe it might just be because they implemented the third person camera in the RE engine, like for Resident Evil 4, and they're just like, just fucking put it over there, it's fine. I don't know. I still haven't played Resident Evil 7 or 8 because I suck.
Yeah, they're really good games.
Yeah, same, Tom. I have it right there looking at me, and I haven't touched it. I should have. And I'm playing Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, I will say I do like 7.
I'll buy you a copy.
Yeah, I do like 7's story better. But 8's still great and also has some very intense moments.
My friend Ash is a huge fucking fan of Resident Evil, and she like hated Resident Evil 4. Hated it because it changed so much of the classic.
She's one of those.
And she was like, Resident Evil 7 is my favorite Resident Evil game. So I'm like, that is high praise coming from you as somebody who like was very much, because I still give her shit all the time, just like, Resident Evil 4 is it's finally my turn, bitch. And she's like, shut the fuck up, don't talk to me about that goddamn game. However, I will say to tangent a little bit, I'm very concerned about this Resident Evil 4 remake. I'm very concerned.
They didn't show much.
Not only did they not show, everything they showed seemed tonally very different from the original game.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Leon had a very devil may care attitude in that opening cutscene. The game was cheesy as fuck.
I feel like
they're
I think they're taking some of the criticism from like people who hated Resident Evil 4 like to heart. They're like, we're gonna make it scary this time.
Yeah, and you know what? Wrong move. The whole
you should have like you should have like
because it was so fucked up.
Yeah, you should have
like. If
I'm
not being chased by a giant robot automaton man, I don't want to play it. Fuck you.
Yeah,
tisk,
man.
Tisk. If I'm not mashing B to dodge a rock, I don't want to fucking play it. It's like, look, it's spooky and scary in HD. I'm like, I don't care. I want to buy something, stranger. Like, that's what I'm fucking here for.
Yeah. What are you buying? What are you selling? What are you buying?
I'm not buying your remake.
I'm hoping.
That's good.
Hopefully they'll show more of it because, like, man, they better have the merchant.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
they got to.
What are
they
you
got
buying?
to.
If they don't have the merchant, we riot because that's stupid.
Yeah, seriously.
That's
like people are already just like a little after the Resident Evil 3. If they fucking go and change all of RE4, which they've said it's a reimagining, which is
fuck that.
Oh,
I hate
no.
reimagining.
Yeah. Which
just make it the exact.
Speaking of, like the Final Fantasy VII showcase, which just showed some things. It showed a bunch of the mobile shit. And then they showed
Final Fantasy VII is a franchise in and of itself now,
right.
and it's really disgusting.
They showed Crisis Core is getting remade or remastered or something.
It's one of those things where it's like not a full remake, but they're obviously doing a lot more than just like an upscale.
Right. It does look a lot better. Because I played a bit of.
I mean, it's a PSP game.
Yeah,
I can't scale that up very well at this point.
Yeah, I played a bit of Crisis Core on an emulator for a little bit, and I was like, I can play it well, but it was like it's hard to control a little bit because like with the PSP, it doesn't have a second analog stick, so there's no camera control. Like.
Yep, the bane of that fucking console.
Yeah. So that's the main thing I'm excited about for playing that is like, oh, I can finally play this game normally.
Move the camera.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And then they announced like a Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is the name of
Rebirth.
Yeah, which is the name of Remake Part 2, basically. And they also
it's not a remake anymore.
Yeah, no, it's not a remake. Which like they also announced like, oh yeah, this is going to be a trilogy. We actually know how many games it's going to be now.
Of course it is.
Of course it is.
It's now a $200 game now.
Oh,
60 for part 1, 70 for part 2 and 3.
Eventually they'll put them all in one package like a few years afterwards.
Yeah. The unmitigated gall of this company.
I'm interested to see where they go with this, and also very worried. Because like even
they're going full Nomura, which is never a good place. You never go full Nomura, and they're just handing it. They're like, buddy, just unleash. And I don't know.
Yeah, it's so conflicting for me because like I love the original Final Fantasy VII. I think it's a really great story and everything. And then with the remake, they changed a lot of things in like how the story played out. But
I still haven't finished it.
Yeah, but the way the characters act and everything is like, this is exactly how I imagined them acting. So I'm like, so with Final Fantasy VII remake, like it was my game of the year for 2020. I was like, that I love the way the characters act. I know, Tom, you're not really a fan of the battle system, but I love the battle system.
No,
so
I might give it another shot. I'm gonna have a PS5. Well, my thing was like, I just wanted to play it as an action game, and you really can't do that.
Yeah, it's not an action game. It's an action RPG.
It's not an action game. And I'm just like, well, if I have to like stop and play,
it should have been like Metal Gear Solid.
Should have been
I
like
don't
the
even-
Ninja Metal Gear Solid game, in my opinion.
I mean, every game should be like Metal Gear.
Exactly, my man. There we go.
The new Madden should play like Metal Gear Rising. Like
Yes.
every game should.
Yes. Fucking those moves with the tackle.
Was there anything else from Summer Game Fest?
I mean, we already kind of a little bit talked about Starfield. There were a couple things that I was like, oh, that looks cool, but like nothing.
Oh yeah,
super worth
Dragon's
talking
Dogma
about.
2 was announced. They mentioned it briefly at the
They did announce
Capcom
that.
thing, and they were like, oh yeah, we're going to do another showcase for that.
I'm really excited about that. I've never played the original Dragon's Dogma. I want to.
I have it on
is
Steam.
because Hideaki Itsuno is the game director who also did Devil May Cry 3 through. We don't talk about Devil May Cry 3, but he's done Devil May Cry 3 through the current ones. So, and this is like his other dream project. Is like he was saying when he was doing an interview, like he wanted to do either Devil May Cry 5 or Dragon's Dogma 2. So since Devil May Cry 5 did so good, Capcom's like, well, what else do you want to do to make us money? Apparently, so he's got the green light for this now. I don't know. He's done really good work.
You know what would be a very interesting video to do on Cyberpunk 64 is like the rise and fall and rise of Capcom, because Capcom has gone through some very big sweeping like.
It has.
Yeah, because like
I'd have a lot of fun with that because I've been a Capcom guy for a long time, as most people our age are, since they did some bangers all throughout the 2000s and 90s, and then there was that drought period in the 2010s. We all had to weather that together.
Yeah,
so,
and then like the mid 2010s to like now is like they've just been releasing like a lot of great stuff.
What if we didn't suck and then
Right.
they didn't? Oh. Yeah, no, it'd be a great video to do.
All right, a few more things, and then we'll go to Q&A. Well, the Joker 2 is going to be a thing.
Fucking musical bullshit.
Yeah, it's going to involve Lady Gaga, and it's apparently going to be a musical.
It better not. Was she going to be Harley Quinn? Is that what this is? Is that what's going on?
I'm for it. Let's fucking go. Let's make it bizarre as shit. It's
yeah,
fine.
okay. I mean, it's just gonna. If it's like that episode of Batman Brave and the Bold, I'm with it.
Yeah, I mean that would be fun. That'd be
That'd
cool.
be hilarious.
Like, I mean, I'd rather have something ridiculous like that than another dour fucking Zack Snyder film. So like,
Yeah,
they need to do more. Well, because like they fucking
like that Flash movie. I have no idea what they're doing with that shit. With like
yeah.
old shit with like. I honestly at this point it's just like, do you really you're gonna release this shit? Yeah, because money. Blah, blah, blah. Like it's just like what the fuck. Like I honestly, DCEU, you just need a reboot. You need that. And what's sad is the Flash movie was going to be the reboot where they like got rid of everything and started fresh. So it's just like then their main actor was actually not the Flash, but the reverse, fucking Eobard ass. And so it's just like it was me, Barry. And I'm so curious.
Really extreme method acting going on right now. That's what this entire thing actually is.
For the wrong character. It's like that dude who plays fucking Homelander. Where like he like attacked those people in real life, but now like he just plays. So it's just like your method acting is on point, but it's just like okay, so Joker 2 is if it's in the same universe and it's just gonna be in the mental hospital with him, and I mean, okay, but like the way it's named and what it does, it just sounds super pretentious or something. Like I don't know. I'm interested.
Yeah,
I'm very interested.
Whatever.
Omelette du fromage or some shit like that. I don't know. Yeah, okay.
It's French.
It's French. But yeah, I'm hoping it's good. I mean, the first Joker was decent enough. So the second one is just like, I'm surprised they really didn't just go like, okay, you and Robert Pattinson to get together, but they had to put that weird guy in there for his Batman movie. But whatever. Like I'm kind of Jokered out at this point, where it's just like, yeah, I'm Jokered out.
A franchise has been run into the ground by blind greed.
Yeah.
You know, the year of our Lord 2022? No way.
Yeah. Insanity. Yeah. Absolute insanity.
All
really
right.
Tired. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go back and play my Ninja Turtles game that blatantly looks in on all my nostalgia.
Yes.
And then you're gonna get that Cowabunga. Then you're gonna get that Cowabunga collection with all the other Turtles games that came out in the 80s.
Damn
90s.
straight I am.
Yeah.
I had this idea recently where like I was thinking like, what if I get all my work done by like Thursday, and then like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I just make them nostalgia days where like I like get a bunch of like nostalgic commercials and just watch nostalgic cartoons that I used to grow up with and watch nostalgic promos with them. So it's like Toonami, The Midnight Run, or like fucking
we
Kids
should do
WB.
that. We should do that for like our next like you know what we did with like the Lord of the Rings thing. We should just do that like a nostalgia.
Just an entire weekend of just nostalgic watching. That's how, because like sometimes I think, because I know like when I was a kid, I would think like, okay, when I'm an adult, I want to be able to watch this whenever. But like now that we are adults, we can literally watch it whenever. Just like go Google, I want to watch this show. But it's just like, I want an entire marathon with like the commercials, with this, with that, with this, with that, like all this stuff just set up. And it's just like, and like have the food from that time too. Just like, man, I'm eating my fucking Eggos.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
This is what we gotta do.
I'm listening.
We gotta plan this out.
Okay.
We got to go on YouTube. We got to make 3 playlists.
Okay.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And we have all the shows. And then in between them, a bunch of commercial breaks. The
90s, early 2000s, yeah.
And then on Friday, you just hit play. And it just goes in the background. We can do whatever, but just the entire time.
Oh, that would be
so...
Yeah, that'd be great. I would love that.
Going.
We need to do that. Like, unironically, we need those fucking, like, you remember
nostalgia
when you watch
baiting is bad as we plan this out.
No, this is like so. But the thing is, when we like, because I really want those fucking promos too from '90s Nickelodeon, where it's like you're watching Nick, and then the Nicktoons are fucking interacting and shit. That shit was high. Oh my god, we should do this. We're doing this. This is our next thing. We are doing that. Okay.
All right.
Good job, Brain.
All right. Next thing. Spider-Man. No Way Home. The more
the funner version.
Yeah, the more fun stuff version is coming to theaters September 2nd.
I hate that.
They were number 3 and was like, we gotta bump that up a little bit.
Yeah.
Like they did with Endgame.
Yeah, no, it's what they did with Endgame. And then like Avatar had to be a bitch and like go back in theaters. Like, you know what's funny? If Endgame goes back in theaters with their edited cut scenes that they were unfinished before, but now if they actually go back and finish them, they could easily close that gap with Avatar again.
Oh yeah,
because like if fucking Morbius made $85,000 in a fucking weekend, all they need is $100K. Like literally, all Avengers Endgame needs is $100K to pass that shit. But like, it pisses me off with this Spider-Man No Way Home thing because I really do enjoy the movie, but I bought the DVD specifically for those type of things, and the fact that they held out on those to be like, oh, we're just gonna re-release the movie again, I think that's kind of That kind of irritates me a bit. It's just Yep. Early 2000s
used to have a
system.
Never done that. You would have your theatrical cut, and then if you had bonuses and like things that weren't ready for the theatrical release, you put them on the home DVD thing.
Yep. Nowadays, nope.
It's just like, we'll just release it in theaters again. Why not? You know, we now have DLC for films.
This fucking stupid shit. This fucking
like I was saying, there's gonna be extended edition of Dominion. That's not gonna go to theaters though.
Yeah, I better not go to theaters. I swear, I'll throw shit.
This is why I just don't go to the movies anymore.
Can you ask for your money back from movie theaters anymore?
I think so.
Because I don't understand how that works.
If I was the movie theater in this economy, I'd be like, hell no.
No, exactly. Because I was like, I don't understand how you go, I want my money back to someone after you
went to see Morbius. You're going to suffer through it.
You sat through all the movie and the end credits and you want your money back? Are you serious? Why didn't you leave halfway? Like, maybe we could work something up, and no, it's just like,
it would get better. It didn't.
No.
All right, let's move on. We have 3 more things, and then we'll go to Q&A.
You know, Tom, you know what spawned this real quick, though? Like, I saw that old Toonami promo for Superman, the anime series, with Peter Cullen, where he's like, there is an alien among the... I was just like, this is so fucking godly.
The amount of times I've rewatched those fucking things.
Right? Peter, Optimus Prime, like kids in the chat, you didn't grow up in the 90s watching this stuff, but it was fucking hype. Like Optimus Prime used to narrate everything. That was godly.
If Peter Cullen was on Cameo, I would pay anything. Be like, here's my scripts for Azumi promo bumpers.
Oh god,
them in the style of
there is a little ninja.
I would pay like $2,000 for that.
Right? Yeah, dude, that is money well spent. Like I would get Peter Cullen to narrate the intro. Oh god.
All right. last three things. Guy Ritchie, the guy who directed Aladdin, the live action one.
Yeah.
He's doing a Hercules.
Who cares?
Hercules is my favorite Disney movie, but I'm so big. It's just like, damn it.
That's all the more reason not to care about this.
Yeah.
They're gonna ruin it. Just like they ruin everything.
Oh god.
Yep.
Man.
All right, next thing. Avatar.
Avatar 2.
Speaking of like trying to run franchises into the ground, Nickelodeon wants franchises. That's what they're doing to SpongeBob. And they acquired TMNT.
They acquired it.
Yeah.
Fucking
and
bullshit
now
doing, right?
like since they have The Last Airbender and they did Korra, they're like, but let's make more.
And that makes me nervous.
Yeah.
Because I've seen this happen with so much stuff I love, where it's just like, you have like, I think there's nothing wrong with letting a series die. Now, I will say this. I am curious because the creators are coming back and they seem excited to be working on new stuff. However,
but will they leave this project again? Like all the other projects they've left.
Exactly. It's just like, that makes me so nervous because you two, you are, when you want to be like super geniuses with stuff and you have this passion, but if you're just like being forced to do it, like I don't want a fucking thing of like, oh yeah, in this movie, fucking Aang loses his underwear and then him and Toph are trying to find the entire underwear for us. I don't want to see this shit. Like, what the fuck? Like, have meaning with it. Like, I love slice of life, but like have like certain meaning. I don't want it just money.
There's because like the whole thing is like they want to do these 3 different movies based on these 3 characters, and for like 2024, 2025, and 2026. A Kyoshi movie, a Zuko movie, and a Korra movie.
Don't they have like comics to base all of that on? Couldn't this
No, they should avoid the
be
comics.
terrible?
Those comics are ass.
Are they? I've heard they were good.
Okay, so
books.
here's my
novels
opinion. There are certain comics that have really interesting stories lines, but then there are certain ones that are either very underwhelming or make you go, wait, what the fuck was that? Like the whole Zuko's mom shit. I hated Zuko's mom. I'm just gonna be real. I hated what the plot of that was. I thought that was so dumb.
Read any of them.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I don't read. You can, well, actually, if you go on YouTube, I think someone posted the entire like comic series, but and they added the Avatar music, so it's like you're watching an episode with it. So like that's cool. But overall, I think it's I feel a lot of the comics are very underwhelming in my opinion. Like that's what I think. The first Avatar movie will be CGI. I better not be. I mean, I love CGI, but I don't want.
Yeah.
All we know is that they're going to be animated. That's all we know.
I mean,
always animated.
They should get fucking Studio Orange to do it. Actually, Studio Orange is doing a fucking reboot of Trigun.
I saw that. That was hype.
Super hyped for.
That's
like,
super.
Studio
super
Orange can do no wrong.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then the last thing here. So Netflix is doing a real life Squid Game.
I signed up for it.
I
signed up for it just for shits and giggles. This is what I did. I signed up for it for shits and giggles, and this is what I did. I like saying it's like, hey, I'm just so passionate. I love Squid Game so much, and I'm just a big fan of anime. And I think I would bring like my anime fitness would just add so much entertainment value. And I like did like 3 different videos, and I emailed them in, and they were like, "What do you think you could do?" Well, it's just like I spent most of my years watching anime, and I think I've built up a lot of abilities to survive. And I said I was like acting like one of those like super like I'm so nervous, but I'm so excited type of deal. I just like if they accept that bullshit, I'm just gonna fuck them. Oh god, god. I'm gonna troll that entire stuff.
When I read this article, because I didn't even hear about this until I saw this document today, I was like, this is proof that America will never be okay. Because if you watch Squid Games, which is like a very blatant anti-capitalist message, and your takeaway from it was people did weird things and died, and that's all you got from it, and that's why you're excited about this, because you can see that happen again, but real, for money, like this is beyond parody. Like
right.
Like this is
most,
an Onion article.
Yeah, this is the most tone deaf Netflix has ever been.
Well, didn't like Mr. Beast already do this too?
He did.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
But like this is just unforgivable. It's like if there was like I feel like in like 50 years we're going to have like a history book like in like the fucking like, you know, Utopia where it's just like 2023 or whatever when this came out. This was the death of art. This is when art completely died and we had the dark period where capitalism just subsumed everything and like all good creativity was gone because this is just such a fucking I can't imagine being this guy who worked for fucking like how many fucking years shopping the script around that had like such a very like personal like resonant message and it's become the very thing that he was writing against has become his creation. Like I'm just thinking if I was in his position I'd put a bullet in my head. I'd be like this is like the monkey's paw has curled. It's been the most successful thing, and it's propping up the very institution I was talking down. Like, this is a fucking nightmare. Like, just as a creative person, this is like I feel like I've been slapped in the face. It's so bad. Like, I don't want this to exist. Like, I want Netflix to die. Like, I'm almost at the point, like, I would give up season 2 of Arcane just to prevent this from entering the world.
It was like, especially after learning about, like, how many different animated projects they canned, is like...
Right.
And you're doing this?
Don't worry, I'll, like, destroy, but if I get picked, I'll just sabotage the entire fucking...
We need someone on the inside.
Yeah, on the inside. I'll just keep sneaking up behind. I'll do what that cop did and just take one of the suits and just like,
yeah,
all right, I got this.
All right, going to Q&A. I'll probably just do the super chats because we're already like way over time. So Deliatine asking any tips you want to share about budgeting.
Oh yeah, here's a tip.
Okay, so with budgeting. All
Don't
your
go to the
paychecks
movies and watch Jurassic World.
Yes, exactly.
Hey, my dad paid for those tickets. Have somebody else pay for your movie tickets.
That is a good budgeting tip.
Go to dinner with me. That's your budgeting tip.
That's very good budgeting tip.
Okay, but here, if you really want a good budgeting tip, realistically, like every time you get paid, like set aside like at least 25% or 10% of that, like in like a savings thing, like no matter what it is, and just like do not touch that at all. Just like that is your
just savings.
It
doesn't exist.
Yeah, it does not exist. Like do not look at like do not think like, oh, I have this much money to my name, and then like you're counting your saving. No. Your savings is a separate thing. Like think of that like as an imaginary jar. Like that's just like to help you in the future. All right, like that's the only time you ever use it. Next, with your budgeting stuff, like really break down like. Go through certain things you need. So for example, I have this app called Truebill, which just tells me like, hey, you have a subscription to this. Do you really want to be paying for that monthly? I'm like, yeah, no, I really don't. So like look at a bunch of stuff and it's just like, do I use this? Is this something I really want? And then it's just like, is this an impulse buy? Like, what am I using this for? Like, what does this do for me? And so it's like, okay, I'm just gonna go through that, fix that out. Next thing, set aside a certain amount of money that you want to use for like groceries and stuff like that. Like some people go weekly, some people go bi-weekly. So see what type of stuff you want to do for yourself there. Like that'll help you like, you know, make enough that you're saving a good amount that you're able to go, I can eat this much. And then like when you prepare food at home, like it not only does it last longer, but you can like literally there's so many follow along recipes on YouTube now that'll teach you how to make a meal that's a good tasty meal, a filling meal, a healthy meal, whatever you want in like 5 to 10 minutes. All right. So literally I'm telling you so much. If you start like preparing food at home instead of like ordering out every single day, you will start to notice like, wow, I'm making a lot more money this month.
It's
like
so
what is going on?
expensive.
I'm making. Yeah, it really is. Like
if you're like me and you're just lazy, like an air fryer, it's just like
air fryers are godsend,
and it makes you food. It's incredible.
Exactly.
It's like it's less buttons to start an air fryer than it is to order from Uber Eats.
It really is. That's the beautiful thing about it.
It's easier. It really tastes better.
Yeah, it does. It does. Air fryers, invest in an air fryer if you don't have one already. Really solid. And then, just like look at certain things that like you may go like, do I really need this or something like that? So for example, there are certain times where like I'll go like I remember like in 2020, just when we were in quarantine, I used to just buy a bunch of stupid shit because it's like I got nothing to do. All right, I'm just gonna impulse buy. And then like I have a bunch of stuff here where I'm like, I have not used that since 2020. And so like, really like before you go ordering stuff like that, you know what? I'm gonna say this is gonna sound like a joke, but I'm gonna be real with it. All right. Before you do any big spending, fap first. So you have a clear head. Like I'm being serious. Like realistic. If you
did you buy that robot?
Paleo, leave me alone. So anyway, we have 3 more years, Paleo. I'm good. All right, so, but like, okay, but real talk. Like, there's some times where you see something which is like $50, and I'm not even talking about sexual stuff. I'm talking about literally something that is like, hey, you know what? I should do that. I should get this random thing. Like, I remember I was like gonna buy like a fucking mini fridge. No, it was like some fridge thing that was like $546. And I was just like, yo, that's so good. But then I'm like, I have a fridge downstairs. Why do I need this? Right. And it's like, what the fuck? Why was I even thinking that? And it's just like, oh yeah, I have a clear head now. It helped. So like stuff like that before you just impulse buy, like it does help. So just, like process it. But that's my opinion.
Yeah. There's also like a common rule of like, if you want something, ask yourself if you can buy it twice.
Oh no, yeah, that's a good rule. Also, the rule is like another one I heard a while ago was like, would you rather have this thing or the amount of money you're about to spend for this thing? And it's just like, what would benefit you more in this?
Or something I started doing is like, if I buy something I want, I put the same amount of money in savings. Like if I buy something
that's good.
I want.
That's really good. Yeah.
Malik Webster asking, Jax, saw Chef PK shout you out and use your workout routine in his latest video.
Chef BK?
Chef PK?
Chef PK, okay.
Says, my girlfriend just got a saber for her job, so I've been finally been able to finally do sword swings. It's amazing. It feels like it does so much by doing so little.
Nice, awesome, dude. That's awesome. Yeah, sword swings are really great core work and like really awesome. But like, yeah. Oh, Chef PK, I know him. Yeah, he's a cool dude. He's really super chill. I like that guy. But yeah, like, yeah, that's awesome. Like sword swings, like a lot of people underestimate how fun it is just to do it. Like even with a bat, like if you're just swinging a bat, like in like a chopping motion, like you're working your core, you're working your arm muscles, your back, all that stuff, like super, super fun stuff. So that's awesome. That's awesome, dude. But yeah, that's great. I'm going to check. I need to see what video he shouted me out in specific.
Then 2J here, saying, Andy would want a socks toy, not a Buzz one. Yeah. I mean, I want a socks toy.
Yeah. I want a socks toy
from
too.
Lightyear. That was a cool cat. Cool robot cat.
One cool cat.
And then last super chat here from Enigma Prince asking, what has been one thing or item that you bought that overall end up thinking that it was a waste of your money and your time getting it?
I can't say it on stream.
Oh.
2020 was a lonely year. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say.
I know there was something recently, but I can't think of it.
I bought an XPS 15, which is a laptop, even though I already had a MacBook Pro because I'm stupid. So I sold it like 2 weeks later and lost $300. So,
ooh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
I've done that a lot. I'll impulse buy things and then be like, I didn't need that.
Right.
So, it is what it is. That's some problem. I'll do that with tools, because that's how I can justify. I'm like, well, this is for work. Like it's a business expense. Like this will help me do my work better. And it's just like that's a convenient little excuse. That's not actually true.
Right. Well, and there's also like there's so much stuff that I buy that I forget I bought, and then I rebuy another, and then like a month later I find the old one. I'm like, why did I buy this again? I hate when that happens. Like it's just like it's like you're feeling like a hoarder.
Often. I don't have enough stuff to lose track, I guess. I suppose, especially now that I've moved here and I only brought some of my things with me. But no,
right?
Like I'll buy like duplicate things. Like I had a laptop and I got another laptop because it's cool and I like that. I'm like, it's a business thing, but it's
right.
I don't need that.
Right.
Yeah. It's you're being programmed to be a consumer with 2 O's. Be careful.
Right. Yeah. I still have another laptop. I think like the one Tom suggested when these two saved me because my laptop, this black one, was about to explode and I didn't know it. So I was just like, yeah. So I had that one. I haven't used that one in like months though. The one I was using temporarily. So yeah, shit. Huh. Because this black one still works.
That was scary. You sent that photo. I'm like, dude, I wouldn't touch that.
Yeah, I was literally sleeping next to it. I was like gonna wake up like Two-Face one day. Just like
nigger.
Oh, that's good.
Shit.
Oh, if we're talking subs, I'd be like a bacon chicken ranch.
A bacon chicken ranch, that's also good.
Yeah.
These are all solid.
Yeah.
As long as you didn't get it from Roma. It fucking sucks.
Yeah,
if
fuck
you get
Roma.
it from Roma.
Ozzy asking thoughts on Gendy Tartakovsky signing a multi-year deal with Cartoon Network and Warner Brothers. Yeah, that was interesting. Apparently from what the contract says is like, oh yeah, you can use like any of our IPs. So Gendy could work with any kind of IP that Warner Brothers owns, which is very
really.
Oh my god!
And Gendy has the magic touch, so that would be hype.
Gendy Batman or some shit? Can you imagine? Oh
Gendy Batman would be hype.
Gendy Godzilla?
Gendy Godzilla?
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I guess does Warner Brothers own that, or they just distribute it?
I don't care. This is my fantasy.
Yeah, let him have his fantasy. He could do whatever he wants.
Let's see. From Kevin, I don't know if my questions will be chosen, but I'll go anyway. One, you get to show the Human 7, one movie from our world. What do you pick? The Human 7 being like...
Who are the Human 7?
The Equestria Girls.
Say Equestria Girls.
I don't know why.
Who the fuck calls them the Human 7? Who said this?
It's the Humane 7, right?
Kevin?
That's how it's spelled.
Humane 7? They're humans.
Yeah, so like, main 6 plus Sunset.
I got you. Yeah, okay. I mean, I've never heard like the Human 7 before. I knew what he was talking about.
What movie do I pick? I mean, Jurassic Park, obviously, for me.
You want to show them Jurassic Park? Haven't they seen that with dragons?
No, the obvious answer is Equestria Girls. Fuck with them.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Show them G5. No, show them G1 or something.
And then it says you get to choose one thing from our society to exchange for one from the pony world that'll make them as sophisticated as ours. You pick. Wait, are you saying that our society is more sophisticated than pony society, or the other way around?
They don't have phones yet. Well, this is G4, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, like they don't have phones and all that stuff.
Yeah, phones, which I guess they added that in G5, so.
Yeah.
I mean, the phone wouldn't do anything.
Yeah, it wouldn't.
There's no network over there. So it wouldn't really be that impressive.
Just teach them how to make internet. I don't know.
I'll give them Donald Trump's The Art of the Deal. See what capitalism does to Equestria.
Oh no.
No.
Till it begins.
All right. Well, we'll end the show here. The next one will be...
Really? That's what we're going to end the show on? God damn, I take it back.
Wow, Paleo. Pick another question. You don't want to end on Donald Trump. That's bad stuff.
I don't know. I mean, like some of these other questions I wasn't really feeling.
All right.
All right, what is your favorite... Not fast food, we know. What is your...
Or other questions that we've already, answered in the previous
What is...
podcast.
Okay, so what... all right, what food from Because I knew you'd be I can't say that one. All right, what? What the fuck? What the fuck? It's in my brain. It's on my brain. It's like it's processing. It's processing. Okay. All right. What a cartoon food would you want right now? Any food right now, instantaneously, fresh top of your head. Go.
Cartoon food.
Cartoon food. Cartoon food. Like like the Goofy Movie pizza or like the Jawbreakers, man, something like that. Anyway, you said what? The brew? You want the brood witch, Tom? You want to see that fucker with the axe? I want to try
the brood witch. Yeah.
You want to see the dude with the axe?
Yeah.
Talking about his jars and shit.
Yeah, it sounds fun.
My brain jar. Yeah, so I put the brain jars. Okay. All right, Pela, think. What show has shrimp? What show has shrimp? Under the Sea. Little Mermaid. Eat Sebastian.
I want to taste a Krabby Patty to see if it's actually as delicious as like all the sea creatures.
Like soaked and just be.
Yeah, so it has to be soaked in seawater. Yeah, it's just
really
gonna be a soaked ass burger in seawater. What is it made of? What is a Krabby Patty made of? Because it's not cow.
It's made of plankton.
Is that actually canon? I thought that was okay, whatever. Yeah, it probably is in plankton. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Anyway, next show. Let's see. Next. Oh, it would be July 4th. I'm not sure if we would do it
4th of July.
then, because
wow,
I don't know if people have plans. So we might do it on the 5th. We'll see. Anyway, thank you everybody for coming out. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye. Bye.